go faster, faster. Your plan turned to a disaster. Go after every investor. I show you who is the master. Big weapon on me, suppressor. Now I walk crooked like Lester. I calculated, professor. You ain't the king, you a jester. Huh? I don't know what's a break, both feet on the gas. And if you drive me crazy, throw you under the bus. And this shit goes way deeper than the motherfucking bus. I gave him everything they wanted, but it wasn't enough. And now I'm getting it up and never giving it up. Both feet on the gas, I ain't planning to stop. And if it fishes out the water, it was starting to flop. A fully automatic weapon on me is not a prop. I don't do drugs, just racing lines. Them snakes make me go demon time. And if this is my final ride, make sure I'm first at the finish line. Sometimes there is no other way. My best friend turned to enemies. I'm out of this world, so give me space. People don't fuck around when they see my face. People don't fuck around when they see my car. And now you hide, now you run, but won't make it far. I counting all these blue faces like it's avatar. And that shit goes over your head like a crossbar. And if you ain't control, you ain't going fast enough. Who's behind it doesn't matter because I'm number one. I'm hunting on my ups, I'm not on the run. I go demon mode if you're fucking with my loved ones. Big guns, fully automatic with a big drum. Play dumb, motherfucking streets where I come from. Walk one, taking out on drugs, I feel numb on one. I need some water from Zum. Hold on, I need more money than Sultan. Go on, my necklace is gold on. Walk one, taking out on drugs, I feel numb on one. I need some water from Zum. Gas, motherfucker too fast. Mask up, I ain't never giving up. It's a set up, motherfuckers upset. You are fucking now with the best. Driving like I am possessed. My cars do be foreign, my engine is roaring. I go speed of light and I'm gone in the morning. The walls they have ears and the streets do be talking. I run this shit even though I'm just walking. Engine with a new extension, getting rid of the ups, that is still the mission. Number one, that is the only position. I don't like to talk, bitch, I'm no politician. Feet on the gas and I don't choose a brake. Pushing a button and I go to space. I go too fast, I cannot feel my face. I never crash, this is part of the race. I'm underground with the rats and the snakes. Not every superhero wears a cape. This is God's plan, so I'm on with the Drake. Finishing first, yeah, whatever it takes. Big gun, fully automatic with a big drum. Play dumb, motherfucking streets where I come from. Walk one, taking out on drugs, I feel numb on one. I need some water from Zum. Hold on,
welcome to another brand new live stream, guys. कैसे हो सब लोग? We are back. क्या हाल है विनायक? क्या डब्ल्यू थंबनेल? Let's go. आज होने वाला है SEN वर्सेस GENG। भाई बहुत सही होने वाला है भाई, बहुत मजा आने वाला है। चैट बहुत बकचोदी होने वाली है गाइस आज, एंड बहुत मजा आएगा। एंड हम इस मज़ा को, इस मज़े की मज़े लूटेंगे। चैट में एक मिनट, चैट को मैं रिफ्रेश कर लेता हूँ एक बार। ये भाई क्या बैक टू बैक स्ट्रीमिंग चल रही है गाइस। डब्ल्यू 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 मेरी चैट अटक गई है क्या गाइस? चैट अटक गई है क्या? Why do I feel it is अटक गई? सेन और लाउड जीतेगी और CSK। लेट्स गो रॉक्स। वेलकम वेलकम। हेलो निक्स, क्या हाल है ब्रो? अभी हम लोग चालू करेंगे थोड़ी देर में। मैच देख लेते क्या सीन है। मैच चालू हो गया क्या? मैच
Well, I think this is the question just wrong.
नहीं
I think if you could take
चालू है। टीवी में मैच और फोन में स्ट्रीम। लेट्स गो भाई रॉक्स। डब्ल्यू हाँ पापा। बस आवाज नहीं आ रही।
Yeah. Let's do one more.
Okay.
Let's see.
थंबनेल तो है
You should go for this.
भाई। तुम्हारे भाई ने थंबनेल एंड मोमेंट पे बनाया है। एंड मोमेंट पे जस्ट जब 15 मिनट बचा था ना स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट होने को, तब बनाया तुम्हारे भाई ने ये थंबनेल। सोचो चैट, एंड मोमेंट पे मीम। आओ आओ मीम देखते तब तक, जब तक गेम चालू होगा तब तक मीम देखेंगे। ओ भाई एकदम हेक्टिक। नोटी नहीं गई क्या लोगों पे? पता नहीं यार, इट्स ओके। लड़की रिचार्ज स्कैम है।
मेरे दिमाग में जस्ट ख्याल आया एक, जस्ट आपकी इसी बात से मेरे दिमाग में ऐसा ख्याल आया कि क्यों ना हम ऐसे ही पैसे कमाए है ना, किसी को बुला बुला के,
हाँ,
है ना, रिचार्ज करा कर।
हाँ, क्या बात है।
अच्छा
देखो आइडिया मेरा था, तेरे को थोड़ा हिस्सा मिल जाता।
हाँ हाँ, इसको
अब तो यहाँ सबने सुन लिया, सबको हिस्सा चाहिए।
भाई सुनने में
तो
क्या कौन सा
Oh, अभी जो हुआ था इधर ही हुआ था. इधर ही हुआ था. Long time. How's everything? Yes. मैंने उनको बोला था कि जो कोई भी दिखे, स्पेशली कोई खूबसूरत लंबी लड़की दिखे, पहला कैमरा चालू कर. हम लोग लास्ट टाइम 1 साल पहले मिले थे क्रिएटर्स यूनाइटेड में, और अभी मिले.
आपका छोटू बेबी भी आया था यार।
अभी भी छोटू बेबी है, बट वो भी टॉडलर बेबी बन गया है. वो डेंजर फेस पे चलेगी.
तभी यहाँ तो नहीं ला
यहाँ
सकते।
नहीं, अभी ना आ सकते, फिर उसके पीछे ही भागना पड़ेगा.
हमने इतना खेला था उसके साथ रात के।
ओ, अभी जो हुआ था इधर ही आ सकते, फिर उसके पीछे ही भागना पड़ेगा.
हमने इतना खेला था उसके साथ रात के 11 बजे तक।
अभी भी खेल पाती,
हाँ।
बट अभी बड़ी हो गई है.
अभी I'll come home then we'll play together।
She's sending me pictures.
जाना चाहिए। मांग रहे हैं तो क्या कर सकते।
ओके 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 ओके. लाइक करो गाइस, मैच चालू करेंगे, अभी मैच चालू करेंगे.
Apples are for some of the teams and how strong they are in other ones. Plus, getting that extra rest that they haven't been getting
Bhai,
throughout the tournament.
kamar
What are
danger
some
dard ho rahi hai
complaints? I think it's going to be massive.
Yeah, I mean, you see this tweet from Kaplan. He's obviously
Oh.
very fired up
I
to
didn't
get that
see
day
that
off.
tweet, but yeah.
Yeah, after how
Camera
hard they've
advantage
been working,
goes
after
crazy,
how
winner
many kind of
gets
matches in a
arrested.
row.
So
But this is
They don't care
Kaplan's
about them bans.
It's
They
the
just want
same
to
for
sleep.
Gen G, right? Like, those guys have also had a long run to get here. So that day off, that double ban, I mean, it's kind of the make or break in a grand finals. It's such a huge advantage. So both these teams are going to be putting everything out there today.
And also for the mental and the expectations
Sure.
of people. For you to come up out as the seed #1, but also having a clean, you know, some maps here and there, but a clean
Let's
run
go, Chad.
overall to make it to the finals, of course, is a statement on it.
Yeah, for sure. And what I think is really fascinating too is both of these teams have, you know, similar-ish journeys. You know, obviously putting that work in. But
क्या लगता है, Chad?
really standing out to me,
आज कौन
the
जीतेगा?
fundamentals of these both
Sentinels
teams.
और Gen
Yeah,
G?
their fundamentals, I think they clearly have the two best in the tournament right now. The way that these teams coordinate, the way in the late round, you'll see them kind of take that pause to set up a double swing, set up a play together is excellent. But they
ये वाला
also
shot
both
तो
have
बहुत
this
सही मारा था
similarity
भाई,
in that they're
PRX
not
ने.
just wildly structured teams, right? You see both of these teams having players that
2-1
who can give them the
Sentinels.
freedom to take over the map. Be it Charon, be it Tens, they'll take the risks when they need to, and I think that's the style that has won both of these squads all of the close games that they've been playing. Being able to play structured against the
Danger.
looser teams and being able to take risks when you need to.
But that's the flexibility, right? That's what
पता है
you
मैंने
need
क्या
to
सोचा
get
था कि
further
अभी
into
थोड़ी
the
देर पहले वो
tournament.
अबाकादर
We
के
know
साथ
the
जो थी ना,
Sentinels has been able
उसके
to
बाद एक
take
फोटो
down
खींच लूं
EMEA,
चैट.
but it hasn't been since 2021
भाई,
that they
उसका
won
AI
against
फोटो
a
क्या
Pacific
sexy आता
team,
है.
right, in VCT. Thanks to the off-season, they were able to play against PRX and PaperX. But here, in the bigger stage, in VCT, it's been 3 years since they take up an opponent with, you know, I think it's also different because this is not the Pacific team that we're used to getting. So, very high stakes for today.
Yeah, and I think that the difference between them, while they have the similarities in really good
कल खींच लियो
structure
यार.
and really
और
good
बाकी
synergy
क्या हाल
between the
जिमाइश
players,
सब
they
बढ़िया है
have
ऋषभ,
very
what's up,
different
what's up?
compositions. They have very different ideas. GENG plays a lot of like old Valorant. They're still rocking with the double duelists on
Let's
split.
go,
They
Sentinels
still
gonna
play a
clap
very
GENG
Pacific
hopefully.
style, even if
हो
it
जाएगा,
is
हो
more well
जाएगा
structured than maybe
आराम
their friends over at PaperX. Whereas Sentinels has implemented a lot of new stuff. They're running Gecko KO. They're running a lot of crazy different
Part of that is
comps.
the changes, right? And who they bring into the roster. They got guys like John QT that
आपने जो
really
बोला
are, I think,
सोवा
like,
एंड वाइपर वाला कर
really
दिया
shaping
है.
the
आपने
identity
stream
of
देख लिया
this
मैंने
team.
Yeah, exactly. When we talk about the flexibility, the
मैंने
fundamentals, and
लिया
how everything is working in that
Thumbnail.
fluidity.
अच्छा नहीं है,
we have
डार्क
to talk
दिख नहीं
about
रहा
John
thumbnail
QT.
क्या?
And it's not only the individual plays that definitely are there, and we
Mimi
see in
QT.
every single match, is the fact that he is able to translate everything that happens in scrims. You know how we always say, oh, if the teams play that, they play it on scrims, they played it on stage, it will be crazy. But you can see it in the vibes and how everybody is responding, even to the rounds that they lose. I feel like this Sentinel
भाई
squad
बैठ
is
नहीं
gonna
रहा
be
इधर.
on top.
Simply put, they don't win against Loud if they don't have John QT winning as many clutches as he did. He won a ridiculous amount of late rounds for this squad, and that's even discounting the calling he came up with too. And I mean, what's ludicrous about this guy is it's his first global event that he's ever attended. Last year, he was 2 maps away from making it to the Ascension Finals, and now he's a game away from making it to the finals of a Masters stage.
भाई लोग अभी
as a tier 1 player, John QT has a
भाई close game से याद आया
We
1
cannot
minute
take him as a rookie because, of course, as you're saying, that experience is definitely there. But if we go back to the match that he is played in
betting का mood
this
है
is his 11th. This guy is just starting. If you're like what you're seeing, this is the early steps. This is how it all begins for John QT.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, guys. There is so much really
But यार कैसे
to
करूँ?
break
तेरे
down.
पे तो
So
है ही
much
नहीं
to
अंदर
discuss.
कुछ भी.
Thankfully, though, we're
कल
not the
सब
only
लूट
ones.
गया
Here we
मैं.
got Mika Fabs, who actually had an opportunity
छोड़ो
to
रहने
catch
दो.
up with Sentinel's very own duelist, the one and only Zek, and you see him on screen. Mika, what you got?
Hey Zekin, how are you feeling about today?
Feeling good.
Yeah, feeling good. Well, you're one of the superstars of this tournament. Everybody's saying that you're shaking your head, but it's true. Everybody's calling you one of the best duelists of the event, if not the best duelist. How do you feel now going up against Texture, especially Meteor for this match?
भाई मैच का क्या सीन चल रहा है गाइस? आज मैच है ना, इसके लिए ज़्यादा लोग देखने नहीं आएंगे. लोग मैच भी देखेंगे, ये भी देखेंगे, पता नहीं क्या-क्या देखेंगे.
I think it's going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah, I think so too. So excited to see it. All right, good luck.
भाई आवाज तो है भाई
Second
सेकंड की.
is going to have a tall task ahead of him today. I mean, this kid's had so many challenges laid out in front of him, Kukuka, but today, my guy's running up against Texture, and this is going to be a fun one to watch unfold.
Hear me out. Out of the 4 teams that we have standing still in the tournament, Zekin is top on ACS, ADR, and first kill per round. Like the impact that he gets, and this is also having some maps where he's not the star, okay? Because we're talking
भाई
about
सब लोग मैच भी देख रहे हैं. मेरे को भी मैच देखना है यार. मैच का क्या सीन चल रहा है guys? What's the update on the match?
In this competition, I think it's going to be very complicated to keep the pace on the 2 of them.
But the difference between them, despite both being young stars showing up to the global stage and going absolutely insane, is the agents they're playing. Zekin has been the best
RCB 29 runs.
Well, Texture has clearly been the best jet player
What
of
would
the
you say
event.
defines them in different styles and quality?
I mean, I think a lot of that comes down to what agents they play, right? Zekin does so much around his nades, his boombots, how he's implementing stuff with his team, how he's comboing utility. You see how much of a role he has with his util in the post punch. Whereas Texture, I think, plays a lot more of a traditional dive duelist role, right? Where he's always first in, he's always hard entry, he's playing Zekin is, I think, more of a like a team player, but that's not a slight at Texture, because the way he plays has clearly worked incredibly well too.
Yeah, exactly. To me, the definition of GENG
entry song name players का समझ गया
It's literally like a motivational quote.
मेरे को वही सही लगा बे गाना.
See the results and everybody
else.
That is perfect,
फिर बाद में एक ट्यून बजती है भाई. वो तो भाई नस खींच डालती है भाई मेरा.
GENG was one step away from making the finals in the fashion that they did it, and it's what you're saying, Mimi. It's on the fundamentals and probably the way that they played the game in a very structured way and how we would see it a couple of years ago, but they managed to evolve it into countering what we see today.
I think the difference as well is that Sentinels is a lot more flashy with their utility. They're playing these comps with a lot of combos, with a lot of new Valorant that really gets your brain excited. You want to open up Valoplant when you watch them play.
मुझे लगा आज IPL की watch party होगी. भाई IPL की watch party कैसे
करूँगा? What Korea's always been in this game. Incredible implementation of not the crazy stuff, but just executing on it incredibly well.
Yeah, and also too, it speaks volumes to the fact that you got rookies on each side of the field, right? But you also have some veterans. You have some big matchups that are happening here. Like, for example, I think a really good one to highlight here would be Karen versus Tens, which I think was very fun because you got yourself, hey, look at that. It's almost like we planned it. What I love about this particular matchup is you got a rookie and Karen coming into this one, really shocking us all and impressing us all, Kukuka. But then you have Tens reinventing himself.
Hotstar.
Made him not just a team player, but an impact player as well.
Yeah, I think that this
watch party
is
होती तो ये
brilliant
channel
to
की
look
मेहनत
at because
पानी
of
में
what
गई
you're saying, the individual performance. I think that Karen has been
सीधा
the key
block
to
मारते.
a lot of the success, especially when we talk about the comparison
ये
of
वाला
how
मस्त
they
मारता
implement
है.
the duelist and everything. I think that he's deadly. No matter what side he's playing, he has a lot of impact, and he will find any possible hole in the other team's structure to get a first kill, to just put himself in a situation of empowerment.
And on the other side, Tens for me is the most fun
Abey,
player
abey!
to watch right now.
Yeah.
When he plays Omen like nobody else. Not
I want to
even
be
like
the best
Karen.
Roman
Bhai.
when I grow
Yeah,
up.
he's a terrible influence on any Omen player in your rankings because he's teleporting forward. He's in these double dive rounds with Zekken. In the late rounds, he's repositioning in clutches. It's so ingrained in his mind how he wants to use his utility. It just looks seamless when you watch him play.
Times they are changing. The fact that we're probably talking about
Karen
the
greater
two
than
most
tens. I don't think so, bhai.
impactful
Aim
smokers,
tens
and it's
का मेरे को
Karen
सबसे
and
best
Tens.
लगता है.
Especially if we take
भाई
less
क्या
out of the
मस्त
question,
माउस
you know,
पकड़ा यार
think of
उसने.
it more as a
मेरे को भी ऐसे कोई माउस पकड़ के
yeah,
देखे और मैं बोले
playing
कि
on
भाई
the Viper.
क्या मस्त
But yeah,
पकड़ता है यार
even when
माउस
Tens
भाई.
is not playing on that Omen, the way that, for example, yesterday he was playing on the KO and playing
Yeah.
with a lot of the utility of the opponent to his own benefit is what's going to set the difference today between Sentinels and GENG.
We're really seeing these playmakers have such a profound role in these lineups here. Thankfully, we got some opportunities to speak with some of the members over at GENG. We had Karen actually standing by with Mika Fabs.
Chat miss. पढ़ा मैंने अर्शित साले.
Hey Karen, 안녕하세요. Of course, this is a very important match for you,
बोला भी मैंने
and you
chat
are
में.
just about months into your professional Valorant career. So, where do you get the confidence to go up against superstars like Tens on the other side?
Tens माउस पकड़ता ही नहीं.
the GENG Ponder.
I totally understand that. That makes sense. Yeah.
वाह. Attitude तो
I've
है.
had enough of bundles. I've had enough.
You're bundled out?
I'm all bundled out.
No
I
more?
have no more bun left to bundle.
You have no more bun to dull.
Yeah.
There you go.
I would have liked it better if you would have said, bind the
Eh,
GENG bundle, the better.
Kakua.
You know what though, guys? I can't get this feeling that
Kaku
we have
का
to
आई है
find ways
guys.
to
Let's
agree
go.
Or disagree. Whoa, looks like we got a
जो पढ़ना था वो वाला नहीं
game.
पढ़ा.
That's right, folks. It's time to play. Agree to disagree.
पढ़ा?
It's actually
What a
the name of the
segment.
game. I mean, look, I'm
Can you
trying
explain
over
what
here.
the segment is about?
All right, guys. So here's the
wonder.
thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna read some spicy statements.
And I
Kakua.
wonder what we're gonna do
कौवा
with
नहीं है
this
guys.
segment.
कौवा
And
नहीं.
then what we're
काकू
gonna
का.
do, mira, ay, Dios mío, ay. Okay, there we go. We got signs. All right, we got signs handcrafted that we flew all the
Yes,
way
way
from
to the airport.
Americas.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right, so
Famous
let's-
location, Americas.
Yeah, famous one only location, only one. All right, let's go ahead and check out our first one. And it's all relating to the games today. So, Loud is going to make a lower bracket run. Agree or disagree? Chat, make sure you play with us as well. We want to hear from you. Strongly agree and
Strongly
agree.
agree.
I want to know
Yeah.
what the agree
GB,
is
I want you to
about.
hold up your sign too.
Well,
Hear me out.
America's biased
you're
stats.
so-
It's not just sad
I-
to see.
I look.
कितनी मस्त लग रही है यार काकुआ. काकू का.
Go on,
माफ
you
करना
explain
मैं
first.
बीच
Yeah,
में
exactly,
चला गया
because
था
you're
काम आ गया. No
very
issue
strong.
अक्षय.
Very
I
biased.
can
You
understand-
same
I can
partial.
understand
बहुत
why.
बार
I
अमीर
can
हो
understand
जाओगे.
why. But
तो 1
Paper
करोड़
X is
दे
the
देना.
kind of team that might come up with a
1 करोड़.
surprise. We all know that. We've been
बहुत
there.
ज़्यादा
Do
अमीर
not
हो जाऊंगा
forget,
तो
you know,
1 करोड़
history
दे
is set to
दूंगा.
repeat itself.
Fair.
And I feel like Loud
Fair.
definitely has a way to
4
get
over
back
में
into
37.
the match. But based off on yesterday, Paper X might be in that downside, but we know that they
आज
won't
क्या
go
लगता है
down
guys?
because
कौन
they
जीतेगा?
picked a little. So I
कौन
agree.
जीतेगा chat?
I just don't strongly agree.
I rate Loud and GENG
IPL
about the
कौन
same
जीतेगा,
level right
guys?
now, and I don't think Paper X is there in their current form.
Okay.
I think the match is going to be a very close. I would kind of put it up to almost a coin
RCB
flip,
or
but I lean
CSK?
towards Loud's experience here, which is
Yeah.
why I believe that they're going to be the ones to come
I'll
at
tell
that
you what,
lower
though.
bracket.
I wouldn't know what to do with my hands, my body, or nothing if Paper X walks out with.
I mean,
up
but the
here.
thing is, it's Paper
It's
X.
possible.
It's
That's the
Paper
thing.
X.
That's why I didn't strongly agree.
And
It's
if the
possible.
script is real, they have to get second place again.
Oh,
So
the script. Oh, Brennan's Eye Show. All right, well, let's go ahead and check out our second one. It's going to be Forsaken will break the record for most aces globally today. He's 2 aces away from doing that. Do we think he's going to do it? Agreed. Okay, come on.
as someone who just loves good value,
भाई अभी गाली देने वाला था ना chat.
because it really shows that
क्या
the game
लोंगार?
is great.
Okay. and you disagree?
Mimi, you
गाली
know
देने
what?
वाला
Live
था
your
ये.
truth. I
I'm living
strongly
it. I'm living
disagree.
it.
I think that the level for both of these teams is too high for that to happen. Somebody, and just based on those fundamentals,
Yeah.
just based on
She's
those
spitting.
fundamentals, he will be traded off sooner than he gets the ace.
Also,
Yeah.
if he gets greedy for it, they'll throw another like 5v4
Just
starting
saying, guys.
around.
Just saying. It could happen. Pistol
It could
rounds.
happen. If
Yeah.
someone was
इतने
gonna
पैसे आएंगे तो you
I'm
will
just
consider
saying.
yourself
My
अमीर.
guy pops
That's
off.
why
इतने
I was
पैसे
on
हो
both
जाएंगे तो
sides.
you will
Yeah,
consider
right.
yourself
Look at you.
अमीर.
Okay, now this.
अमीर नहीं. I will. मुझे अमीर नहीं होना है. मुझे सक्सेसफुल होना है. समझ रहे हो? इसमें डिफरेंस ये है कि जब मैं अपने फैमिली में जितने भी लोग हैं उनको जब जो चाहिए वो मैं बिना सोचे समझे दे सकूं, और जो मेरे साथ होगी मेरी वाइफ उसको मैं जब जो चीज़ चाहिए वो दे सकूं, तब आई विल कंसिडर माई सेल्फ सक्सेसफुल। बस इतना ही पैसा चाहिए मेरे को लाइफ में, और कुछ नहीं चाहिए। इससे ज़्यादा नहीं चाहिए, इससे कम नहीं चाहिए। बस इतना पैसा चाहिए कि जब जो चीज़ चाहिए, जब जो चीज़ करवानी हो, जब जो चीज़ ये इंस्टेंट हो जाए। एग्जैक्टली हर्षित भाई, बस इतना ही पैसा चाहिए भाई, इससे 1 रुपया ज़्यादा नहीं चाहिए, 1 रुपया भी नहीं चाहिए ज़्यादा भाई।
There's always that possibility in my mind, especially with how they've been playing. But I just feel like Sentinels is.
मुझे नहीं पसंद जो पैसिफिक वालों को कमजोर समझते हैं।
You're a turncoat. I think the map pool works well for Sentinels today, especially they're all
CSK क्योंकि फील्डिंग कर रहे हैं।
Split or Sunset. I think both those maps are going to be a gimme for them, and I really see it being highly likely for them to pick up another in the pool. And then I think the team who wins this match today, is so likely.
कोई आउट हो गया?
Because we already discussed double ban, extra prep time. That is so important.
एक विकेट गिर गई भाई।
Likely, but it's nowhere near impossible, especially if they win today.
All right, so we have time for a 4th one. This one would have been on the chopping block.
Nice.
But I'm curious, so let's see what we end up getting. All right, the finals will be a regional rematch. Whoa! I mean, but which way? I mean, I think all the way. But
जब मैं घर वालों के लिए नया घर ले लूँगा, बस उस दिन अमीर। हाँ, मेरे लिए भी वही है, उतना ही है भाई। मेरे को भी नया घर ही लेना है भाई। उससे तो बोल रहा हूँ, फाफ दू प्लेसेस आउट। देखा नहीं था यार मैंने, सारी। एक और विकेट!
After the pressure that they were put on yesterday, having such a making it into 2 overtimes and being able.
Here's your American visa. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much.
एक और विकेट गिर गई।
It's your green sign. I don't know if that's how that works.
Give it
I know this is all over the place because they said that they were going to go on a run, but.
Me when I contradict honestly based. It's so close.
If there's one thing hosts are great at, it's contradicting ourselves on a regular basis. So the reason why is
बस शुगर डैडी बन पाऊँ इतना पैसा चाहिए हैं?
This is more what I want.
भाई जब भी राइट साइड फेस करता हूँ रोना आ जाता है।
We're getting right now today we're getting seed 1 versus seed 2,
क्यों भाई?
seed 2 versus seed 2. Is that not good enough?
It is.
Nothing's ever good enough for him.
You know, I'm just. You guys are going to break me. This is too much for me to handle. Okay, folks, we asked you earlier in the day, well, just like a couple minutes ago, Massacre fan poll, and the question was, who do you think is going to be going to the grand finals?
Sentinels will never lose a fan poll.
Yeah, I feel like, you know.
You hear that? That's people cheering for Sentinels winning the fan poll.
Sentinels की तो क्या fans है भाई?
That's pretty strong. But I do think, though, if we kind of, remove the funnies from it for a second, it does make a lot of sense, right? I mean, Kukuka, what we've been seeing from this Sentinels team has been so impressive.
भाई मेरी चड्डी चिपक गई भाई।
They've been able to put this lineup together.
लाल है पूरा मार्केट लाल है।
Identity, but
हर्षित भाई,
I think
मार्केट
it's
लाल
just
हो
been
गया।
so awesome to watch.
Hey, उज्जवल भाई।
I also strongly agree.
Thank you so much for the $2 Australian.
I think that for today, I'm going to double down on GENG is doing a quiet round. They're literally.
Thank you, Ujjwal bhai, for the $2 Australian. Love you, means a lot.
Any further than they can take it is already a huge
Thank you
win
so
for
much.
them. But I want to see them take it further.
All right, well, let's
No,
go
like
ahead and
Kohli
find
aa
out
gaya,
where
Kohli.
we're going to be playing. And, well, let's go ahead and take a listen in for our map selection.
Welcome to Map Select presented by Omen. Both of these teams came into this match with the same seed and the same record. So therefore it was a coin flip that was done before this that ended up
लो
being
भाई आ
the
जाओ,
second
वीटो
seed
आ गया
by
chat.
GENG Team B.
I was in
So
Nepal.
we'll
I
jump
came
into
Australia
the quick
yesterday.
ban.
Nice यार
Sentinels
उज्जवल
your
भाई.
first ban.
Welcome back to
Ban
Australia.
Icebox, your ban.
इसको साउंडबोर्ड में डालो ओवो को.
Ban Sunset.
Sunset, map number 1.
Ban Sunset ban.
Split.
Icebox ban.
Side on split.
लो भाई फिर से split खेलेंगे.
I'll take.
Attack and map number 2.
ओ आज ब्रो आज बेस्ट ऑफ 5 है. फक आज तो भाई भयंकर लेट होने वाला है मतलब. उज्जवल भाई थैंक यू सो मच फॉर द ब्रॉन्ज मेंबरशिप. लव यू भाई. ये लोग कितना टाइम लगा रहे हैं सोचने में. Fuck. गाइस आज बेस्ट ऑफ 5 है।
Lotus.
Lotus. Side
नहीं
on
बेस्ट ऑफ 3 है। Sorry,
Attack.
best of
All right,
3.
next set of bands sitting with Sentinels. You have Ascent, Bind, and Breeze.
Ban Ascent.
Ban Ascent, you're a ban. You have Bind and Breeze.
Ban Bind.
Ban Bind. Map number 3 by default is going to be Breeze. Sentinels, side on Breeze.
Attack.
Attack. All right, good luck to you both.
Thank you. Good luck.
एक और
A lot
आउट
of deliberation there. We don't have a lot of time, but I want to break this down real fast. Split first map.
They had to pick their poison. Sunset or
Yeah.
Split. Sunset is a map Gen G plays
Maxwell
way less
out
of.
पहली
I
ball
think
में।
Split
क्या
is going
कर
to
रहे
be
ये
so
लोग?
hard for them to win. If they're to win this series, Gen G, it has
लेकिन
to go to
लाउड
Breeze.
बेस्ट टीम
Yeah,
है अभी
exactly.
तक
And
की
when we
बैलेंस
talk
करना
about
है।
knowing the teams, knowing the fundamentals, a split comp with the double duelist is something that you need.
भाई लाउड को हरा दिया
It also has some
तो
show
सेंटिनल्स जेनजी को भी हरा ही देंगे चैट इजी।
overall.
फर्स्ट टाइम बॉट मेंबरशिप कांट बाय इट फ्रॉम नेपाल so came Australia to buy your membership। उज्जवल भाई गोट है भाई उज्जवल भाई गोटर ऑफ गोट भाई।
Well, I think they're the two strongest teams on that map that are still left in the tournament. So that's
विराट
kind of a
नहीं,
coin flip.
Maxwell
This is
out
going to be such a tough series for Gen G.
It's going to be tough, but it's definitely this. If I could choose just 2 maps to see these 2 teams play in it, it would have definitely been Split and Lotus.
Yeah.
I know that Sunset was out of the question.
Yeah, well, it looks like we got our gift, and this is going to be incredible. But folks, let's get this show on the road because we have great matches on the table. It's grand finals on the line. Gen G versus Sentinels. PRX versus Day 7 of Masters Madrid starts.
चलो भाई स्टार्ट। भाई मत देखो अच्छा सा तो ये मत देखो उसे तो भाई ये वैलोरेंट देख लो भाई। आज आईपीएल देखने में बीटी मिलने वाली है तुम लोगों को। आईपीएल देखने में बीटी मिलने वाली है। जेनजी फॉर द विन बेबी सपोर्ट पैसिफिक। नहीं बट मैं बुक पे देख रहा हूँ ना आनंद भाई, स्टैट्स के हिसाब से बुक पे देख रहा हूँ भाई। लाउड बेस्ट टीम थी अभी तक की भाई, उनको सेंटिनल्स ने हराया है, जेनजी को तो हरानी ही मांगती है भाई।
Hello everyone and welcome to day 6 of Masters Madrid.
मेरे को क्या मतलब ऐसे करूँ, it's 2 AM here but can't leave your stream, it's like habit। मजा आएगा रे, फुल मौज उज्जवल भाई। देखेंगे पूरा स्ट्रीम आज तो करेंगे भाई ना। सेंड ने लाउड को किक ऑफ में भी हराया है सो
I feel good about our win against Loud. I think as a team we played really good overall, and I think we showed a good version of ourselves.
There's no chance. There's no chance whatsoever. Gen G 13-9. It's on to the upper final.
चलो भाई मैच स्टार्ट होएगा अभी
사실 세계
फाइनली
대회에서
भाई।
이렇게 성적을 좋게
हेलो शान, वेलकम वेलकम। क्यों ली
작년까지만
भाई मेरी चड्डी पूरी गीली हो गई है भाई बैठ बैठ के।
본 적이 없기 때문에
Gen G, they play very slow and methodical, but at the
सेंटिनल्स
same time they're very
फ्रॉम
individually
मेन है
talented
भाई और
players.
बहुत फैन सपोर्ट है वो तो है।
이제 새로 리빌딩이 되면
टुडे इज अमेरिकाज नंबर 1 इन पैसिफिक। यप आज का मैच तो है, पर मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि सबसे ज्यादा अगर वॉचिंग जाएगी पीक किसी मैच में तो वो होगा ग्रैंड फाइनल्स पेपर एक्स वर्सेस सेंटिनल्स। इनसेन।
Where are you guys from?
हाँ ग्रैंड फाइनल्स, फाइनल्स नहीं ईशान, ग्रैंड फाइनल्स।
Sentinels. We are supporting Sentinels. Yeah.
I'm PRX. Jason Susanto, he's the GOAT.
What do you think of his beatboxing?
It's really good, actually.
When we go lower bracket, no matter we win or lose, we will like improve very fast, and hopefully in lower bracket we will show you guys on our.
मैं जा रहा, कल लास्ट पेपर है भाई। टेक केयर अक्षित, ऑल द बेस्ट, अच्छे से लिखियो एग्जाम।
deve ser frustrante para vocês.
जल्दी बोलो आज कौन टॉप फर्क करेगा।
Perder um jogo tão close.
आज मेरे को लग रहा है सैसी।
Somos humanos, a gente também erra. A gente vai consertar tudo que a gente fez de errado nesse jogo para
और जेनजी में
Lotus is a bit like us. They're really strong. They're also creative.
Come on! Wow, just can't lose!
A gente já venceu times com esse estilo de jogo, então a gente vai
जॉन
saber
क्यूटी,
lidar com eles.
जॉन क्यूटी भी मार सकता है। हाँ जॉन क्यूटी मारेगा बे।
I hope you guys enjoy our WKB.
Vamos, lad.
Vamos lá!
Go PRX! Mark my words. PRX for the winning.
भाई मेरा फेवरेट गाना आ गया चैट ओए होए जेंजी के प्लेयर्स का नाम ही नहीं पता भाई पता है मुझे मैं ब्लैंक हो गया था थोड़ा सा पता है बड़ा टेक्सचर मारेगा देखना आज टेक्सचर मारेगा देखना टेक्सचर या फिर कैरन भाई क्या गाना है बे क्या गाना है बे क्या गाना है
Final spot is on the line as well as history. Both teams looking to do
टेक्सचर या फिर कैरन
something
मारेगा
massive for their organizations. For
कैरन
Sentinels,
कल क्या
it's
खेल रहा था
about
भाई
going back to championship form and fighting for a crown yet again. And for GENG, it's not just about establishing Pacific as a strong region, Kukuka. It's about GENG establishing themselves as a top-tier team in Valorant.
Exactly, Alex. Seed 1 is no longer enough. Both of these teams want the first spot in the grand finals.
क्या
Just want to
stage
be
है
the
भाई,
top
क्या
one
stage है
out
भाई।
of the entire world. And of course, the journeys have been a bit different and so similar at the same time, Mimi.
The last time that Sentinels played a Korean team in the upper finals of an international event, it was over 1,000 days ago. Sen won that. They went on to win Valorant's first international LAN and haven't made it back to a final since. So much about this team has changed since
ना, आज
then.
थला
Only
मारेगा
10s
भाई,
remain,
आज
but
तो
he's a
थला का भी
completely
देखने
new
का है।
player from the star-locking Jet way back
मैं सुसु कर गया होगा
when.
चैट
The difference is
आया
well
मैं
for Gen
1 सेकंड में
G's
सुसु कर
wild.
गया
Back then,
I
he
mean,
was
1 मिनट
solo,
में
playing alongside Lakia, who he's now coaching. They lost that match. It was the deepest the Korean team has ever gotten. They have a chance to make up for that again today against this new Sentinels.
Crazy. I mean, when you set the stage and you really think about how this has all come together, it is absolutely mind-blowing. The fact that Sentinels, a team that people were clowning on, and now they are the top of the mountain. GENG, I feel people were forgetting about them, and this is their opportunity.
To some point, people are still forgetting because we have seen the miraculous runs before. There has been teams that have been breathtaking. EDT last year made us dream.
Yes.
But it was most of it was because of Kankan. They had that one-star player that everybody was looking at. For GENG, as I said, it's quiet. It's the group effort. It's actually relying on those fundamentals and how far
Sum
they
of all
can
of its
take them.
parts.
Exactly.
What's crazy is that people are still doubting this team. They've done this run quietly. They haven't gotten the same fan attention as a team like Sentinels. They haven't shot
I'm
in
back,
that
Chad.
same way. But they have consistently performed and played excellent Valorant throughout. Their players have come out with unbelievable form. Remember Karen, he's a rookie. His
नहीं,
first
अगर आज
global
GENG
event.
के लिए
He played
कुछ
his
बोला
first
तो तुझे
VCT
बददुआ
match
लगेगी।
this year. And now he's a game away from the finals.
He doesn't care. And that's the wild
तो चाहता
part
हूँ
about this
Sentinels
as well.
win
Because you
करे
would
यार।
think like, oh, the pressure's on, but it feels like for all 10 of these teams, they just feel confident walking onto that stage, and oh boy, it's going to be a good one. But here we go, split. What we got for the comps?
GENG is going into Sentinel's home turf. They have been incredible on this map thus far. Their defense looks indomitable. And GENG are playing a very different comp. They go for the double duelists on this map. They're very reliant on Texture and Meteor to be set up for insane individual performances.
Razorback भाई, मैं तो चाहता ही हूँ
Yeah, exactly. Probably one of the reasons why they decide to start on the attack. If they want to start with a strong foot, it has to
GENG
be
जीते।
through a very explosive round.
Yes.
So watch
मतलब
out
समझ रहे हो?
because the retakes for Sentinels have
ए
been
यार
on point.
एजेंट पिक नहीं
If
देख
GENG
पाया
can
यार
beat Sentinels on their best map, there is no denying that this team is ready for a trophy.
Well, folks, this is it. It's now time to figure out who's going to be going to the grand finals. Will it be Sentinels? Will it be GENG? We got two excellent casters to tell this story. It's Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy, Mimi, and Kukuka. We've got a barn burner of a game here. Sentinels looking to reclaim
अभी तो
their
सेन जीते
former
बोला
glory,
था।
while GENG a serious opportunity to
कैसी
make
लगी कैसे लगी राजराज
in the history of Valorant. 1,029 days ago, 10s sent Newturn down to that lower bracket from the upper final, a chance for a final, and on that team you had Lakia and Coke Solo. A lot has changed since then, but I can tell you now that Lakia will be there looking for revenge. It is a grudge match with so many stories, and we're kicking it off on Sentinels.
They have been without a doubt the best team we've seen on Split in recent memory. GENG have a hell of a task, starting it out on their opponent's map pick with Lotus.
रेजरेक्ट में टेंशन मत लो यार, ये क्या हो गया यार? साथ साथ में मैच भी चालू है ना राइट में यार, मैच देख क्या भाई, क्या क्या हो गया ये भाई? मैच तो दिखा दो.
Bind into the mix. Lakia's
demolishing them on it.
Oh,
Meteor though in this round, he's just looking to sell a bit of a bruise, and he has done. A push coming down mid, but the rest of Sentinels are all rotating over towards that B site. Not a member, even in the right half of the map.
This is a pistol round that plays out a lot less like a coin flip. Both teams reactively waiting on mid. Nothing happens, so the fake info on A is given away, and the space is taken. Very nicely handled the setup for a post-plant situation. Sentinels send in a dog and some util, though, and they're going to deny the plant altogether. But in the chaos, Texture's able to pick up one, and the nade buys them space. They can secure the site now, get a plant, and look to play after. Meteor's also snuck up behind Tens. Didn't matter with Lakia shutting him down, and these other players now locked in towards the spawn. Up top is Zelsis alone, but there's still some fight left in Sentinels. They don't want to give this round up just yet.
Yeah, had to be a fallback from GENG, not wanting to overextend. Karen still, though, holding on to some control, and they've spotted out Zelsis. They know where both of these players are at this stage, and with the positions they currently hold, it's definitely not going to be easy for the side of Sentinels to get back into this one. Running out of time, need to try and isolate one of these jewels, and with the spot already coming in, the rest of the players line up like a firing squad. All left onto John QT's been fantastic at clutches, but it's not happening this time. GENG, they will take the pistol.
And again, just the patience shown by this attacking side. You saw, as we said, Sentinels off-rip, look for mid-control. They don't get it. The fake is made by GENG, making noise on A, taking space, and they walk into B for free. But post-plant, the idea to just send the two players in spawn and they sit there, waiting, running the clock down. John QT couldn't go out and fight with his teammate because he's worried about Frank coming up through heaven. This is a really nice pistol round from the side of GENG. I do like Sentinel's ideas as well, because they laid a trap. Just GENG were too wise to fall into it. Now on the attack side, you know, it's an interesting buy, Tom. I have to say, Texture is surprising me, because I'll talk all day long about the benefits of playing this outlaw. I just don't expect to see it on the attack that often, but he's found success with it. Nobody on the defense has shields, so this weapon, even if they have lots of shields, which they don't, it's still going to be an operator. 2 shots, very fast movement, and a quick reload.
It's a round as well, though, where realistically, nothing really for their opponents to be playing with.
Hello,
Sentinels,
welcome.
just saving up for the next round. It does mean that you want to keep it clean. Meteor, the only player that can really go down without being too much of a detriment. And obviously getting that extra information is a decent start. Zeka finding one. That's a spike down for John QT as well. This is starting to get worrying.
Well, Texture's down to 13 HP as well. You know, he's pretty much in an even fight regardless of who he takes on. That heal needed to come through. Luckily, there's been some time. That clock runs down. The health goes back up for Texture. 100 HP. Lakia and Munchkin there to fight with him, but they have to walk into the open to take that spike into a big crossfire and play for Sentinels. Instead, they're going to take some space in heaven, get that little bit of extra space to play with, and here comes the snake bite. It's not gone fully into the corner. Still a nade to play with for Texture, flash for Lakia, but they're caught off guard, and Zeus is intense! Got both up top! That's a disaster for GENG! Now 1-1 after winning the pistol.
Yeah, an instant response with the MasterCard Thrifty, and maybe some jitters for GENG, because that was a heavy investment. 4 players with rifles. Already you're seeing the initial jewels push being won, and really isolated fights, like the spike going through the smoke on its own for Karam. That is an uncharacteristic error for someone like him. We've been singing his praises about his positioning, his movement, especially after the switch to Omen. I felt like he was fantastic. And that is a really rough way to kick off your attack. Rifles now fully bought up on what was meant to be an easy victory. well, now Sentinels have the same chance.
GENG with just a few pistols will struggle immensely on this. Now, we've seen this a couple times, this poison orb thrown up over right at the start of the round from Munchkin. It's causing a lot of problems for that Sentinels defense with the fact that he can slip out to the right side. You're going to need a trap there, which can obviously be broken by some of Texture's utility if he lobs it through. So it's not going to be that consistent. And if you leave it unchecked, well, someone's going to be sneaking through it in some round. You never know when. Always in the back of your mind. Now, the mid-hold, very strong for Sentinels. I don't imagine there's too much trouble. The close range engagement, though, catches Zelsis off and takes two. Looks like I should have kept my mouth shut. We're all of a sudden in a 5 versus 3. Showstopper popped and fired at random. It doesn't land, but they've got a huge advantage to play with here. Sassy needs to hold strong.
He's in a good position, though. Already dropping a first, but the trade is instantaneous, keeping that huge advantage. What a chaotic start to this map already. The delay already put into position. Munchkin in a good spot, has a teammate alongside him, may not even need it, and it's going to be Mastercard 50 straight back, getting their money's worth in the early stages of this game.
I mean, loud anything
here again, Tom.
They bought more than Sentinels.
That's true. You know, this is a hell of an argument for the bundle, but there's a few Sheriff shots landing there with the classic assists on the back of it. Just absolutely insane to see this in the first 3 rounds. That back and forth.
That was Zelsis' orb as well that went down, because the other one was thrown in B main.
Yeah, you're right.
So that means that he got caught by his own utility. Again, it's an error from either side. Both in the early stages have made mistakes. All right, Tens. That's one hell of a start. They've still got a couple of rifles. It's definitely not the prettiest of buys, but even still, somehow the team with the weaker has got off to a good start.
Well, that's it, because they happen to take the fight up against one of the players who has that rifle. And John QT, other side of the map, he's running the Phantom, now actually swapping over. Gonna be SEN and Tens towards A. For the side of Sentinels, those 2 rifles, they stand a good chance in any fight. Those pistols, though, they're left to do a lot. The whole mid-control is around those
so
pistols.
much info.
They want to be playing this off the utility. That's the nade going through, forcing them back, doing some damage, too. Karen's now down to 83. I was a little bit of decay as well. The orb had gone up.
They got a rifle, but because of that neural theft, they used it to check if anybody was holding the rifle. So that's now a third gun. They have boosted this quite a bit. 40 seconds left, 3 players still within the B site, but you still have Tens with a paranoia available to him. Nothing really on Zelsis though, so it is going to be onto him.
Oh, he's forced out of position, that paranoia. It's landed on the players further up, and one was blinded. Caught by the trap, another now inside, and well, he's gone. 2 kills with a classic for Zelsis. He's being wrapped on, at least a chance to shut him down. One that they must realize. Meteor, there we go. It's a connection with 12 seconds left, and the spike's gone up into heaven, dropped. Even if the last kill wasn't found, I don't think they were getting that one done. 2-2.
You're never going to believe this, but that was a Mastercard thrift. I don't know what's happening.
Is that the first one we've seen so far?
No, I believe it's the third.
3rd in a row.
This is such a peculiar game. Now, obviously, because both teams are still sort of building up finances.
What is this?
The next one's not going to be, but if you've ever seen an advertisement for buying the SEN bundle, that is 2 kills off the back of Zelsis, the man who's been plugging it this entire event. We're never going to hear the end of it.
Well, at least they're feeling it too. Kaplan with his thrifty calls. Forgot the MasterCard in front of it, but I'll forgive him. I'll forgive him this once. Well, GENG, they're not going to be too happy about the back and forth nature of this early game, especially the fact that they got caught by not being able to shoot the traps. It's a little unfortunate, but these things happen. There was a combo of util, again, thrown towards them, making it that little bit more awkward. They try to take some fights. That's
unlucky. Not destroyed that.
Yeah, I'm starting to think Sentinels have got some sort of trap abuse going on. They're not taking the bullets.
Look at Meteor, though. He's just about to walk in. Sassy might be caught unaware. Got so far forward before anybody really realized. Tens up above. Has support from Zelsis, but this will be an afterthought. Meteor hasn't stopped his push. He's still going.
But थोड़ा सा भी रहता तो हो जाता है ना यार.
Space to take a position.
इतना difference में है ना, इतना difference, छोटा difference में भी नहीं हुआ.
He's also there with a paranoia in hand, and it's about to come through. There it is. The step was heard. But luckily, those players are able to round the corner just in time. Nade Really going to force Meteor back, but he falls back anyways, concedes the
इनको इधर
space.
इन्होंने मन बना लिया भाई.
To trying to clear that back
इन
out,
लोग को
at least in his mind, but the paranoia is kept in the back pocket, now burned up to go towards Elbow. Here comes the blast pack from Zekin. He's towards the side, picking up Karen, and Celsius had opened up the rest, leaving Meteor alone, doing so much damage. It looks like Munchkin was able to catch an angle, and with the snakebite landed, that's buying a little bit more time. Tens has to run for the hills now. There's no time left with another found. GENG take the lead. It's not quite a MasterCard Thrifty, but it is a Red Bull clutch.
The script really is just paying dividends at this point. Around break.
एक गोली में टूट जाता है वो भी नहीं लगी. Exactly.
Again, we talk about Sentinels in these retakes, and they're phenomenal. Just being able to come in from behind, isolating these fights, and even after the aggressive positions that were held. But it's Munchkin, the leader of the team, someone who's been highlighted so many times by different members of his roster to help elevate. Well, this time, he's done it individually.
Get out of my way!
And straight away, Bladestorm popped. The pacey side of this round looking to come out as they take early space towards this A site. Pit already into mid, but straight over the top goes Meteor. He's looking for pressure.
Oh, timing!
Might have had that for free, but the cage blocked off just enough to give him that little bit of space to work with. Still a player on B and one in mid. GENG have a lot of space. You don't expect to see a Sentinels crunch just yet. And look at how much they're keeping in their back pocket for the eventual fight. A paranoia is still to work with almost every PC utility, the big ones online. One flash just popped by Sassy, but Meteor turns. The blades are used up. Look, they're not finished pushing. Lakia charging forward. His teammate had fallen back, a little disjointed from GENG, but Munchkin capitalizes on the chaos, picks up two, and keeps having control. That's a huge position for them to play with. And now Sentinels even send Sassy back to reclaim it, buying so much time as only John QT's on the site, flanked out and distracted by Meteor. The clock is running down. Munchkin late flanks up through heaven, and the classic fight's awkward. The knife kill is in, but it's too little too late. Again, the time is enough for GENG to claim the round.
Yeah, we finally see
क्या डेंजर स्कीम हो रहा है इन
a
लोगों के
second round
साथ.
in a row after what was a crazy back and forth. It is GENG to come out on top, but again, it was close, and John QT comes out with a knife. Munchkin, though, he has got off to a fiery start. The way that he's been playing, the way he's been punishing them as they tried to rotate, his late flanks in the backline have been so problematic. It's the spike to do the job. 4-2 in the lead. As said, this has been Sentinel's home turf. We even saw the video earlier, John QT saying, well, you know, it's his favorite map, and you can understand why. 4 back-to-back victories. 7 of the last 8 won on this map. But, as said, GENG have been so fantastic at adapting. They beat EDG, they beat PaperX, they've been evolving throughout this tournament. It's not going to be easy, just because this map is solid for Sentinels.
Good cancel of the dog with a deep snake bite. GENG denied
आज
some
दो
more
रेड
information
कलर
around
की
mid.
टीम हारेगी ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है
Rotates
मुझे?
are underway.
रेड कलर जर्सी वाली टीम हारेगी आज दो.
Way back to the B side.
आज येलो डे है मुझे लग रहा है.
Sentinels have been able to win with pistols before. Some ultimates to back them up. On the side of GENG, though, Munchkin's game has been fantastic. Just last round, the way he played in the late game, it allowed that spike to explode. Now he's got a Viper's Pit, thanks to his hard work. Seekers as well, but they're not used. Instead, it's going to be dashed straight out in front of the Seekers. Meteor, though, he's caught. He can't quite see anything for a moment, but as the Cloudburst fades, he's able to find a target. Nice headshot, but the wall gets in the way. Sassy holding on to life, barely. And he'll eventually be shut down with the Viper's Pit in. This becomes a hard round to win, but a showstopper popped. It's going to be a gamble from Zek, and he has to pick a spot, and he's found Karen, but landed with his back turned to Munchkin. A quick execution leaves John QT alone. But with Meteor down, there's a chance that's
exactly
the head, but Munchkin fires right back.
This guy has been so good so far. I just love watching his reposition within that Viper's Pit. He hears the showstopper, he goes, what's the chance of him shooting it straight down? Very, very low. You're going to try and hit towards that plant spot. So he repositions forward into that Viper's Pit and just manages to isolate the battle, takes him out, and then this, well, I'll be honest, this was just prediction. Knowing that his opponent would eventually try and catch him on the ping, It has been such a worldie of a game. And here's someone as well. This is his 7th, I believe, international event. The best spot the Munchkin has ever finished is 9th to 10th.
Like
He went through the likes of Crazy
like
Raccoon in the past, a team that never really achieved anything. As mentioned, he has already got top 3. This man is gunning for so much more.
Yeah, they were Crazy Raccoon, I remember, a good regional team, but once they came to the international stage, and for a lot of Munchkin's teams, they just got tested in a way that they couldn't stand up to.
Yeah, and it ended.
And actually, even Munchkin's runs, it was always playing the same teams twice. Like, it happened against Gambit.
Literally यही feeling आ रही है.
But there was definitely a back-to-back as well. This guy always ends up
मेरा मन
facing
कर रहा
a
है कि
team
तारिक सॉम
and
FNS
then
का
coming back
reaction
and being
देखने
eliminated by them later on.
He always seemed to improve, though. That's the thing I
That's how
want
he got here.
Yeah, give credit to him as someone leading. And he's leading by example right now. He's forced Sentinels into a position where they're taking a pause. And again, you look at some of the results. This is a team that, well, they played Loud a couple of times in their last 4 matches. Loud only managed 4 rounds and 3 rounds. So GENG are already way far and above a lot of the teams that Sens have had to battle against. Interestingly, again, I bet you can see that Outlaw onto Lakia. Clearly having a lot of faith in this gun, but having your Sky player, that's intriguing.
If I wasn't already a fan of GENG, I'll tell you what, I'm going to need a jersey after this one. Been complaining all tournament, all month long about how little this is being used, and they're coming in attack side on Split.
On Sky as well.
On Sky, yeah.
Has he been watching Optix? Is that what's happening?
It could be. It could be. He's learning from the best. Well, 5 on the board already for GENG, as we said. This was not going to be a pretty start from what we guessed, at least. Split has been terrifying, like you're saying. But GENG have already far exceeded expectations. They've got a commanding lead early on, even after a scrappy beginning. Even after denial of the second round, I thought that was the start of the end, Tom. I was starting to worry. But here we are, round number 8, and GENG have another chance to extend this lead. Sentinels down to their last credits and used all their ultis very recently.
They've been doing this a lot.
निकल जाएंगे
Meteor
लोग
left
जाएंगे भाई.
in a lurk. He's been able to take quite a lot of space now.
Meteor घुस जाएगा अंदर, information निकालेगा, एक को pick करेगा और ये लोग घुस जाएंगे अंदर.
Watching. And with only 40 seconds left, we're seeing this late clear into middle. Now, a lot of this was probably off the idea that, okay, we could have double back through and taken control into heaven. Cam already going to be gone, but now with 30 seconds left, they look to head into this stacked up site. Sentinel and Viper. It's never easy to get past this util, but they're beginning to predict.
Nish bhai, thank you so much for the 500. Fury bhai, love you.
Good trap by John QT, a little closer.
Thank you, Fury bhai, love you.
And there's still
Fury
some
bhai.
harassment on the site. John QT drops the spike. 8 seconds left.
Bhai?
Players up in heaven, surely not able to deny. No nade, nothing to clear
Yeah.
the position. And the fight's going towards GENG. Oh, Zekin, full HP. But 1 hit to that Outlaw, Tens, 1 hit to damn near anything.
Thank you, Fury
Zekin
bhai.
closes the distance,
Love
but a shot
you.
to the head from Texture pretty much seals the fate of this one. With Tens having 2 players to drop and Munchkin
Danger.
way ahead of him on that fight. 6 rounds now for GENG. A solid A take, and Sentinels left with scraps for the next round.
But the crazy thing about this is a lot of the setups that are being put into play by Sen.
भाई सैसी ने वहाँ पे क्या किया
Look at
chat?
John QT right now. He's 12 and 5 because they are running into his trips. He's getting
सैसी
an
ने
opening
क्या
kill,
किया?
but
नहीं नहीं.
every single time
किया
there's a
क्या
response
सैसी ने
from
वहाँ पे
GENG.
भाई?
That's been one of the things I've loved about this team is the trading is on point. They are so quick and so committed as well. You're going into a site with 20 seconds left. There are so many variables you have to look for, but this team is ready to trade whatever comes their way. And with 8 seconds left, they get that spike down, and from then on, it looked like plain sailing.
That's the point where most teams start to panic.
Nish
It's when I start to panic a little
bhai.
bit, but they were just
panicking for them.
yeah.
Thank you so
I
much
can
for
only
the
imagine being the
another
coaching
500
seat,
on
screaming about the time
GP.
left, but they
Nish
had it
bhai
all under
कहाँ
control.
हो? Chat
Cool as
में
a
हो
cucumber
क्या?
as we go into round number 9.
चुपके से देख के
Sentinels,
super
as we said, they've got
GP किए जा
scraps.
रहे
The
हो.
pistols are apparent to us. There's only a few ghosts.
Thank
The
you
Sheriff,
so
this
much
is a
for
round that they've won
another
before, so
500
you have to be
Thank
careful.
you.
Well, caution to the wind for
क्या
Tens. He
यार?
goes through the orb and falls right down.
Hearts डाल दो यार
Let's see
थोड़ा.
what else we've got though.
Hearts डाल दो
The
यार.
weapon's going to be upgraded, and there's still some util to play with.
This is the thing, we've been hyping
अंधा
up
support भाई
controller
ऐसा
players all the way through
deserve
this
भी
event.
करता हूँ क्या मैं
We've
इतना
talked
support
about
मेरे को
Carol.
कभी-कभी
We've talked
खुद
about
पे
the
वैसा
likes
हो
of
जाता है भाई.
Tens.
इतना अंधा प्यार आता है ना तो.
Maybe we underestimated Munchkin. Because right now he is on an absolute tear. Again, just the patience. You're going to see the gamble. I don't really blame Sen at this point. They've had so many late A takes that They're reading into the fact that, okay, this is going to be A, and what happens? Texture just walks a little stroll straight in towards this B site. A round that now already looks over. Yeah, sure, the Sentinels retakes have been good historically, but if they pull this one off with a couple of Ghosts, a Classic, and a Sheriff, well, we're going to be marveling at that for a long time.
Yeah, there's something special about doing it in a post plant on your way back through a site like this with essentially a quick fire, semi-automatic two-shot op in play for Lakia with everybody on light shields. It really is one of those rounds where you start to think about just going down to the spike, maybe dropping some weapons if GENG do get a bit aggressive. And, well, that's a bit aggressive. What in the world is that? Of all the ways to use that weapon, of all the ways I thought I'd see that weapon used, running through your own nade to double hip fire at a player who's eco, that was not on my list. I didn't see that coming.
गजब भाई गजब
got the credits to play with. It's a gun that he doesn't
उसको खाली बस गन को यूज करके गिराना था बस और कुछ नहीं करना था तो वो घुस गया अंदर ऐसी मन करा तो घुस गया
realistically all that's happened there is Lakia has gained it.
Brother, you deserve more love and
maybe wasted a little
love
bit
you
of credits, but that's the thing again, it was spoken about in an interview with
Jimesh bhai क्या हाल है silent welcome back
match. He said that it just feels like
नहीं चाहिए थी
have
सोचा
a
कि
great
एक
read
दो
on
kills
us.
ही मिल जाए
At the moment it's looking like they have a great read on Sentinels as well, because the way they've started this match off, they've gone the right way every single time. The paranoia decent, but the counter there, Tens will be able to keep his life and the aggression quelled for a second.
And look how quickly they've got a response. There's 4 players from Sentinels here. Make that 3. Tens is down. Zels is falling. Second falling. Sassy here and expected. They even expect the 4th player swinging. And that is about as bad of an attacking start as you could expect, in that they run into the entirety of the defense. And they still win it. Not only win it flawlessly. That's how this game is going for GENG right now.
They genuinely took about 40 damage across the board in those fights. It's absurd.
Danger, bhai.
Again, this time Sentinels had the perfect read. They had the expectations, they had the rotations, they had the players in position, and they lose every single fight.
PS5 के लिए कितना चंदा कलेक्ट हुआ? Around 22,000.
Hold on to the rifle, but
22-23,000 हुआ है.
Of course they're going to try and hunt him down.
अभी तो काफी लंबी जर्नी है, but ठीक है. धीरे-धीरे हो जाएगा.
Even for most of these players dying.
धीरे-धीरे कर
I'll
लेंगे
take an orb and give you 1 towards a neural theft. No worries.
वो देखा बियर्ड शाह ने राका भाई को PS5 दिया. हाँ मैंने उनकी स्टोरी देखी भाई. राका भाई की स्टोरी
He's
देखी
got
मैंने.
one at least with Munchkin down, and the others maybe a little too far away. Texture, no blast pack. Nade, but it's not even going to blow up in time. So 8-2. This is a scoreline that I think, hey, I actually don't think is that surprising. One team having 8, the other team having 2. The fact that it's GENG with the 8 on their attack side so far, little surprising. The fact that we've actually, I would say, most of this game so far, I've been complimenting GENG, pushing and pulling the map, finding open sites, being able to run into the lighter side of the defense. Then we see what happens if they run into the entire defense, and they still win the round flawlessly. What else? What other kind of challenge can you present?
But that's the thing. I think going into this match, it was almost unequivocal that Sentinels were the best team in the world on split. We might have to reevaluate that after this map, because right now it's not looking particularly close. There needs to be some sort of response. They brought back in again the ults, not particularly close, at least the valuable ones, but they are looking to put pressure on. Looking to try and deny Meteor. He's going to go straight through. If he waited a second, I think he actually gets the kill, but he's still going to be able to survive. They've used a lot of utility to try and shut this man down, and he's not taken a lick of damage. Zelsis, though, the timing, he could be everything. He's got his eye on perfect. Looks for a big play.
Himanshu!
2 kills down. The first
Guys,
time
Himanshu के side से
they've really managed to
500
catch
का
them off
Google
guard.
पे यार.
Texture falls.
Himanshu मेरी जान
Just 2
के
remain.
टोटे.
Meteor looking
Thanks
for a
for the
move.
500
He's at least going to get one quick snap back.
Love you,
Make this
Himanshu.
one a little bit competitive, and the man they're up against has
Thanks a
been
lot,
insane.
baby. Thanks a lot. भाई ऑफिस में इसको 1K मिले, इसने उसमें से 500 इधर दिए.
It's not going to be an easy fight on any front. He's choosing the harder of the two. Just one player towards the spawn. Whoops.
W.
There we go. One player towards the spawn, but 2 up top. Make that 3 now as they come into position. No snake bites. That orb only going to block vision, maybe add some decay, give him an opportunity though to play up top with the shorty. I like him trying to create some opportunities.
भाई अब भी जाके इन लोग को एक राउंड मिला है भाई.
For anyone to take.
अब मुझे लग रहा है 9-3 होएगा.
The last round could see Sentinels find
ऑफिस वाले ऐसी हजार बांट रहे हैं. भाई मिलता है ना कभी-कभी किसी को बोनस.
Good thing for Sentinels
बोनस
fans
मिलता
out
होगा ना
there is
किसी
we
को.
have seen mass landslide victories for the side of Sentinels on either side of the map. They have proven it time and time again. Look at their last match versus Loud, 9 rounds. So they can do it. It's not a death sentence, especially if they can get to 4, but it's the manner in which GENG have been winning that does make me doubt that. And they're going straight back to the bread and butter. The A take has been fantastic. TenZ has been able to delay them at least a little bit, and the Seekers are going to give things away. The nade from Zekken is good as well.
Struggle
They
got
off to a strong start. Yeah, the util through from Sassy as well helps out. They're blinded and paranoid by TenZ, who's now making his appearance up top. Boombot through, it's found a player, and the bullets soon follow. Only 2 left standing for GENG. A healthy recovery for Sentinels towards the end of the half. It was looking a little bit shaky, but they found their footing now. And actually, I maybe even spotted both players there. I'm not sure if the dog got far enough through that wall to see Karen, but either way, they'll suspect it. Spike on the floor.
जाएंगे तो ये लोग यही
Problem
और मर जाएंगे
is,
सारे
Asus stood on
मिलके.
the other side of that smoke. Sassy up top, spraying away with him.
Silent भाई
50
देखो
seconds
चुपचाप.
left and 5 players to take down.
चुपचाप
Well, we
देखो
said the
भाई.
last round was a bit too big of a task. This one, good luck.
Protect the KD at all costs. Munchkin can't really hope for anything else. Looking for the fight. And TenZ is just being an irritation at this stage, just placing smokes in his face. This is all just a formality.
8-4 by
no hope for this one to go wrong for Sentinels, and they will at least close out the remaining couple of flawless to give them their 4th round onto the board after what was almost a flawless half out of GENG. An early, shaky back and forth that was competitive, and then a 6-round streak for the Korean super team. They've definitely put themselves in a good spot, but as we know, Sentinels can definitely turn the tide.
It's not over yet, that's for sure, but GENG have to be happy with how things have gone so far. In fact, we've got some friends of GENG stood by in the audience. Let's hear from them.
Hey guys, Mika Fabs here in the crowd right now with Jules, a GENG super fan. Hey Jules, where are you from?
I'm from Korea, but I live in the States as
RNG कर रहा है साला
okay, so this is a tough match for you. Clearly, you are for GENG. I actually hear you're a friend of Textures, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh wow! So how do you know him? And what is he like outside of the game?
I'm his channel moderator, and he's just a great guy, a friendly guy as well.
Yeah, you mentioned that he works really, really hard as well outside of the game, right?
Absolutely. We call him pro streamer because he's a pro player, but he streams like streamer. He always works outside of his scrims as well. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's been such a character as well, and so fun to watch too. Now, finally, I hear you're not just a GENG fan, you're not just a Texture fan, but you're an overall VCT fan. You've been to so many events. Can you let us know what they are?
Yes, I've been to Pacific last year and also went to LA for Champs. This year I'm at Madrid and I'm going to Seoul for Champs again.
Awesome! So we might see you again and we might have to loot back this interview and come full circle. Now finally, I need you to give one big shout out to all of the GENG fans over here in the stage and everywhere. Give your best battle cry for GENG.
Thank you. Wow! I think GENG is gonna win. Guys, GENG has been exceeding the expectations and they're really gonna do well. So please root for GENG.
All right, let's hear it for GENG! But on the other side, we also do have to hear it for Sentinels before we get back into the game.
Oh. एक दिन जिमी का भी ऐसा होना प्रो स्ट्रीमर.
Yeah, you know what? I got to hear a GENG battle cry, but the crowd didn't really turn up for
time I got emotional and very क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Felt overwhelming जब मैं कुर्ला गया था. भाई कुर्ला में इतने लोग आए थे मेरे को मिलने को. 100+ लोग आए थे. And गुजरात मीटअप में भी 110 लोग आए थे. Next level feeling थी भाई वो. Next level feeling. 110 लोग मिलने आए थे मेरे को भाई.
Listen, hard work pays off. So far, a 4-round lead, double the rounds of Sentinels, hailed as the best team in the world on this map, Tom. They've got to show us why they're called that here on their attack.
It is time to prove it, because as we know, next map up is the choice of GENG. Lotus has been a home turf for them. 5-map streak. Not a bad map for Sentinels, but you wouldn't want to be going in this series with a deficit. Zekken now becomes the pinnacle. He's had a bit of a quieter game, but we know that
Junaid bhai आएंगे interview के लिए
this
वाह.
youngster can turn it on, can take over rounds, and especially on that raise, it's been fearsome. Lucky though, ooh, he's actually just looking to deal with utility. He's gone down.
Sentinels OP
Having a bit of a rough
बोलते,
map
चड्डी
individually.
खोलते.
And the problem is, this is all just the ruse. This is going to start pulling players
समझा
over.
कि नहीं.
Pressure onto Meteor.
Resurrect.
That's a spot that you have to check on the way out. For Sentinels, you imagine they will. John QT, look at him.
John
You see him in the
QT अंदर
X-ray
आ गया,
just
इसको पता ही
sneaking
नहीं.
past towards the screens. They'll never expect him to be in this corner. And the steps heard on the rotation back. Oh, this gap is absolutely massive. No way that Munchkin could expect it. But does he expect someone to be on the
इसको
side?
बहुत गाली
He
पड़ने
think
वाली है
that's the
Dexter
only
को.
player. One guy
Dexter
in
को गाली
screens
पड़ रही
coming
होगी.
back to
साले
check there's no one and
देख
running
तो सही
back.
पहले.
This all makes sense for Texture to be here.
बंदा कैसे अंदर आ गया
Oh, they
भाई
have to
तेरे
be ever
चक्कर में.
vigilant to see it, and now he's got an opportunity to trade it back further. It's huge from Texture. Completely bamboozling. 10 seconds left. A nade on the floor. A blast back for the fight, but Zekken still wins it. 5 seconds. They need to plant it now. If they can deny this, it's done on the spot. Karen does well to find one, and there's the follow-up. Injecting some rounds and bringing them ever closer to winning Sentinel's map pick.
That is the second time in this tournament I have watched that man there, Texture, win an impossible round. Win a round that never should have been. There was one where he exploded through a smoke and instantly popped 3 heads. This one was discipline. This one was waiting patiently for the perfect moment to strike. And again, he takes down 3 players. This man has been revitalized within this GENG roster. And that has got
गाली
to
खाने से बच
be
गया guys.
infuriating for Sentinels, because John QT basically did everything right. Gets an opener, catches the player rotating, but one man missed. And that's the pistol round to GENG.
आज तेरी पनौती काम नहीं कर रही क्या? पनौती काम तो करी, उल्टा हुआ ना जो मैंने उसको वो बोला उसका.
Running up in heaven. Chance of a third being there very low. Karen not in danger. In fact, he is in danger. 3 kills. They were close, but well, the numbers advantage doesn't really matter when the judges firing away like that. The last could have been his, but Texture finds it instead. 1 man lost on GENG. A fantastic follow-up round to their pistol, stacking them the chips even further on their side of the table.
History might be made in
No one would be
ways
able
than one
to defeat
today.
GENG. Let's go.
Unless Sentinels come alive fairly soon, we could be seeing their greatest ever
अभी ये
defeat
मैंने बोला है, मतलब अभी
with this
उल्टा ही हो रहा है
iteration
इसका.
on this map. They've played it so many times within the
Danger
Americas,
भाई.
so many times already in this
एकदम
tournament as
danger
well.
भाई.
Right now, GENG are showing why they might just be the hope of Pacific to finally get towards a title win. It definitely feels still a fair bit away. But in this round, they've not got a completely weak purchase. A few rifles, an outlaw as well. Okay, Karen's left on a pistol, and Munchkin's SMG is not the most desired weaponry. I'm also looking at Texture being 2 orbs away from having that showstopper. The main thing, though, for Sentinels is they finally got the rifles.
Well, if anything, that's the pressure of this round. They've got the rifles, but they need to find success with it. Weaker weapons for GENG. That outlaw is dangerous. What's even more dangerous is the 4 players on this A site. We saw GENG run into this. 4 of Sentinels up in heaven. And GENG lost about 40 HP total with a flawless execution on the A site. Sentinels are doing it with a split through vents. 2 players on their way to crunch heaven. Problem is, GENG can crunch right back. Lakia and Munchkin aren't in heaven, instead out on the ledge. It's a very unusual position. Lakia can flash up from down below. And Munchkin can always have somewhere to fall back to. Oh, not with this knife out. That's a big mistake. Now they know at least there's another player on site. They might even have heard them in screens, but again, they haven't checked for this extra man. Lakia tucked in the corner. Sentinels, 12 seconds left, and a 1 versus 2. They've bought themselves the space to plant.
आज तो वोट भी नहीं लगाया जी मैंने. हाँ मैंने नहीं लगाया जानबूझ.
Everybody dying around the window means that he might even have to put himself out into the open to give this one up. The reposition as well from Celsius is sublime. It would have to be an instant headshot. And although they pushed in to pretty much all of GENG, at least all of their weaponry, Sentinels do manage to weather the storm.
अभी देखो comeback आएगा.
Well, Tom, you know, This is the
comeback round बोलते.
2-round win, one on the back of the pistol.
John
the
Cutie
other
and
follow-up
Genesis, they are
to
playing
win your
like
third up against those
actually
weaker weapons.
वो लोग
It
अपना
still gets
100%
close.
दे रहे, but
Couple
हो
of
नहीं रहा है.
well-placed shots by Sentinels puts them ahead in those fights. A good reposition in the end. But one battle going slightly differently, and this map spirals out of their control. They're holding on to a cliff's edge by their fingernails. And at 10-5, GENG now pull out the showstopper, and they've gotten away just about rounding the corner in time. That was a target-rich environment. But now GENG have to fall back, surely. They won't keep pushing. They won't keep taking this space. With Texture's gone back, but Meteor's gone forward. He doesn't even have a dash online. This guy's crazy. He's cloud bursting around to try and stay alive. He's still not running away, Tom. He's sticking around for a fight. I did not expect that.
Maybe not expecting that many players to be there. Texture as well. He wants to try and recover this. Such an aggressive start. The paranoia showstopper combo could have eliminated half of Sentinels. Instead, it found nothing. And now it's
अब positioning हो चुकी है भाई.
scrambling a little
अब
bit.
दिक्कत देगी.
Such aggressive positions, and the fallback is going to go towards that A site. The thing is, though, because they had so much map control, there's been an early read from the side of GENG. Once again, it's looking like
जाना चाहिए भाई इनको साइड में. अभी लोग साइड में आ गए सारे.
Sentinels go to push.
One flash on Lakia, one nade on Texture.
अब पता चल गया है को.
Some smokes. The
तुम
second
ये पे
just
आ रहे
came
हो.
online for Karen, and one's just been popped down.
Lead
Here
हो गया
comes the
भाई.
showstopper though. That's the big gun on the other side, and Sentinels find the
Easy
opening
way,
with it,
easy.
but there's a response. GENG equalize things, catch them on the rotate up through heaven, and drop the spike. 20 seconds left, and the nade buys even more time. The rotation now from Texture as he realizes they're going to want to hightail it, move to the other side, but look, he's already here. He's ahead of them with 10 seconds left. There's no time for delay. They need this fight. They need to win it. And they have just about 5 seconds. 4 as he reaches the side. It's too late. They've bought enough time. The spike plant.
मेरे यहाँ से आ रही होगी. कुकिंग की आवाज मेरे यहाँ से आ रही होगी.
Has been pretty much second.
भाई रीड कर लिया बे.
Every single time he makes the right read. Texture is having a worldie of a defensive half, and Sentinels are just walking into this trap almost every single time. GENG's read to get 4 players there, perfect. He drops the spike and then instantly hightails it, knows that he can have faith in Munchkin to hold on to that site, and buys almost exactly enough time. The fact that it has to be slowed down just enough, that split second, does the work. The heroes are there, the stars are aligning. Sentinels are on their last legs, investing back into this one. They have some rifles, and they're almost at a Viper's pit.
GENG have been bypassed on mid already, but that was heard. Karen knows exactly what was going down. This weapon, the judge in hand, it could be somewhat unexpected. They'll see his economy was low. Will they anticipate it upstairs in heaven? This is a danger up against.
लेट कर दिया एंट्री गन. वही तो बोल रहा हूँ. भाग के जाना चाहिए था हम लोगों को ये पे.
Straight into Karen's waiting arms.
Fight control तो मिलता है at least.
At first already, that's another nail in Sentinel's coffin, and he's back. He's just creating some space. And not getting out alive. In fact, sticking around for another fight, but Tens doubles up.
That's a big double kill. They've still got to deal with Munchkin though. Might not be expecting a third player within this site. Poison orb up. He's going to be able to isolate the spike. Already dropped to the ground. Good trade though from John QT again. Bringing things back into an even scenario. The clock not so low this time, but Lakia already making a switch up. He's going to play into the orb. Has a flash ready to go straight out of it. It is being watched though, but he drops one against one.
Oh, भाई Lakia पागल.
Puts the 12th round
Bro, Lakia पागल हो गए ले भाई.
Every decision, every battle just seems to be correct for this squad. And I can't believe what I'm seeing. A 7-round deficit for Sentinels on their best map, the map they chose, and a map that I'll be honest, we did not see GENG competing in.
I was already looking at Lotus once I saw the veto come up. And no team's been able to shine a light on Sentinels here on Split. A close game is the best you could expect. A dominant victory, though? GENG, they really are changing the game. Round 18 could be the last with an early fight up top. It's done a little bit of damage, but not too much. Sentinels not deterred from their aggression. Another player on site now. 4 players from GENG here ready to fight. Meteor the first to take it, and he won't stop. 3 kills already. It's left it all to Sassy, and it's not just like that. 13-5. You might have expected to see this scoreline, but not in the hands of GENG. A devastating start to this series for Sentinels. I can't imagine what the locker room chat's going to be like ahead of Lotus.
This now puts it down to one map to GENG, matching the best ever Pacific performance at an international event. This team last year didn't really do too much, but they have come out swinging. We'll be back after the break to see if they can do it in 2.
अब बताओ चैट क्या होने वाला है भाई? बहुत डेंजर सीन्स लग रहे हैं ब्रो। क्या मारा बे? एक वन साइडेड लिया बे जेंजी को, जेंजी ने एकदम भाई वन साइडेड लिया है भाई। पैसिफिक जीतनी चाहिए भाई इस बार।
Hey guys,
सच बोलो
it's
तो
Jimmy
एमसीबी सेन की
In
भाई
this
बहुत
series, I'm
डेंजर।
going to walk you through attack
आईपीएल नहीं लगा सकता भाई भाई लोग में,
clear this
ये तो सीन हो
angle.
जाएगा।
You're going to be able to
आओ मीम्स देखते हैं भाई, बहुत डेंजर मारा बे, कुछ भी बोलो। जेंजी पे सट्टा लगाओ। नहीं भाई, खत्म हो गया सारे मेरे। वॉच पार्टी भी वर्टिकल कर लो, सबके लिए इज्जत बना रहेगा। मतलब वॉच पार्टी भी वर्टिकल कर लो, सबके लिए इज्जत बना रहेगा। इज्जत क्या होता है इसमें? इसमें इज्जत कहाँ जा रही है? क्या बोला समझा नहीं भाई। तेरे पास पेट डॉग है? नहीं 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 भाई। जी भी बुकी गेमिंग का बुकी। जयेश शाह ने आपको आईपीएल की वॉच पार्टी की एक्सेस नहीं दी? जयेश शाह ने नहीं दी भाई।
मगा मजा गाधा मगा मजा।
क्या करते रे भाई? वॉच पार्टी 1080 में कर सकते हैं। वॉच पार्टी का वर्टिकल में कर रहे क्या ये लोग? वॉच पार्टी वर्टिकल में कर रहे। वॉच पार्टी अभी थोड़े 1 घंटे पहले चालू हुई भाई। वर्टिकल में कौन कर रहा है? नहीं मैं नहीं कर रहा भाई। मैं वर्टिकल में क्या करेगा भाई करके? इसमें इतनी सरदर्दी है और इतना टाइम भी नहीं रहता है रे। बहुत थक जाता हूँ भाई मैं। अभी इतना कर रहा हूँ भाई। मुझे पता है भाई मैं कितना निकाल रहा हूँ टाइम। बाकी लाइव स्ट्रीम्स क्यों नहीं दिखा रही मुझे? तो सिर्फ ये हिंदी वाली दिखा रही है क्या? सब्स इंक्रीज और क्या ना भाई। मेंबर्स में मज़ा आता है। वो साइड में सिंबल जो देख रहा है नाम पे ग्रीन कलर, क्या लगता है चैट? सेकंड मैप का क्या सीन है? सेकंड मैप क्या था? आइस बॉक्स क्या था? आइस बॉक्स था सेकंड मैप। लोटस है क्या भाई? लोटस में भी नहीं। लोटस में तो अच्छा खेला था ना सेंटिनल्स ने कल भी। कल भी अच्छा खेला था उन लोगों ने, सेंटिनल्स ने लोटस पे। वो भी लाउड के सामने। पेपर एक्स और लाउड का गेम देखने मजा आएगा क्या? पेपर एक्स और लाउड का मैप देखने मजा आएगा गेम। ना 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 ना। मेरा घर आ जाओ गाइस, पिज़्ज़ा पार्टी करते हैं। हैं पिज़्ज़ा पार्टी करते हैं सिद्धांत भाई? क्या बात है यार, पिज़्ज़ा पार्टी कर रहे हो?
Welcome back. We're here right now with Solo and with Jen to help with some translation. Now, Solo, once upon a time it was you and Lakia up there up against a very different Sentinels. But I wanted to know how it feels like now that you're seeing this matchup. But now
इसने ऊपर जेंजी가 पहना है.
감독님 마지막으로 센티널을 만났을 때가 감독님과 라키아 선수가 선수로서 뛰고 있던 때였잖아요. 이제 좀 감독으로서 지켜보면서 옛날 생각도 많이 나시고 좀 감회가 새로울 것 같아요.
इनके सॉन्ग से वेटर अपने नॉन कॉपीराइट वाले लगा लिया करो एटलीस्ट
처음에 만나게 됐을 때 좀 저도 개인적으로 긴장을 많이 했고 그전이랑 똑같은 승자조 결승에서 만나니까 또 그래서 좀 저번에는 졌으니까 이번에는 꼭 이겨서 결승 저희가 먼저 갔으면 좋겠습니다.
So जेंजी का वो लगाया पीछे.
Brought back so many memories from back then. We were all
दोनों ने लगाया भाई.
also in the upper bracket as well, but we lost back then. And it just made me like, it just brought back so much emotions from
जो समझ में आता language वो है सिद्धांत.
back then. But I just feel like
Watchparty
this
में
time we're
ads
gonna make it
frequent
different, and I really hope that GENG guys can pull it off today and
ads
walk
से
away
कुछ नहीं
to
आता
win.
है.
Well, it certainly feels different. So let's see if GENG can close this out.
GENG heard the Sentinels really like Split, so they said, hold my drink. And they did the business. Absolute domination. Kukuka, this GENG team looked absolutely on fire in this map. And if anything, it just goes to show that, I mean, yeah, you
और वो भी split में उन्हीं के split में उनको one-sided दिया भाई.
When we saw the map select, we thought, you know, it's a bit of pick your poison, right? It's going to be Sunset or it's going to be Split. And they were definitely very sure about what to do with this split, even though the beginning of the game was a bit shaky for both of the teams. We saw, you know, teams getting echo time and time again. It looked like JungQT was going to have all the effect in that defense because GENG was a little bit lost on how to play around it.
And I think GENG executed on a lot of the things that we talk about being so good on this map for Sentinels. On their attack sides, they had great entry pathing with this double duelist comp. Actually, I feel like in a lot of these rounds, after those initial few where John was getting the better,
ये वाला जो मैच है ना गाइस, ये वाला मैच है ना ओटी जाना चाहिए. क्या बोलते हो चैट?
Sentinels was never allowed to play the set retake.
देखने भी मजा आएगा अगर ओटी गई तो.
On this map, which was absolutely
ये वाला मैच जाना चाहिए
ओटी. And I think it's brilliant the way that GENG was able to interpret and actually read into what they had to do when they got to that post-plan situation, how to put the pressure and no allowing us to say, Mimi, Sentinels to have any kind of breathing room, so they could not win.
नहीं next OT जाना चाहिए. अरे next तो तब जाएगा ना OT.
The individuals were absolutely kidding. When you lock a comp like this against a team like Sentinels,
ये वाला जाना चाहिए OT. मजा आएगा. Lotus OT गया ना तो मजा आएगा.
Texture in particular was ridiculous this map.
Oh, well, I'm actually glad you mentioned Texture
because
you know,
chances बहुत low है OT जाने के.
You know what I'm saying? It's of course our HyperX reflex.
मुझे भी लग नहीं रहा OT जाएगा, but अभी ऐसा तुम लोगों ने बोला तो मेरे को भी ऐसा लग रहा है कि OT नहीं जाएगा.
Way to play this one out. The discipline of the
This
serve.
round made no sense. Like the fact that JungQT took a position that they didn't know, then Texture is doing the same, and he has to trigger discipline to get this far in such a slow, like 2 seconds. This was.
Yeah, and GENG was good on the rifle rounds, but the make or break in this match was rounds like this. Was the second half pistol, was the eco rounds they won at the beginning. Those little margins are what changed the outcome of the
मेरा favorite skin कौन सा है? मेरा favorite skin है
that Sentinels had. I remember when they went on to A, they knew that they were going to do something aggressive, and they responded with even more aggression, sending the race, sending all the utility to shut down any kind of idea that Sentinels might have had to turn the match around.
What a match it was for GENG. Let's go ahead and take a look at our aim lab shoot around real fast, continue the conversation, because GENG is in a great position here to do something that, you know, other teams in their region have done before. Other Korean teams have achieved, right, being able to hit that second place spot. But the way they're playing, the confidence upon which they're approaching this one, Mimi, it feels like it's a different conversation.
It's been a long time since a Korean team has been in a finals. The last time was when Solo was a player. We heard that in the coaches nostalgia in that coaches. We heard him. He's nostalgic about it. It feels like he's bringing something up again, and really hopes his team can close this out, because it would be a massive moment for Korean Valorant, for the Pacific region, and especially for the rookies like that guy that was just warming up. Caron, at least top 2 in his first global would be really good.
Honestly, I don't even know why he goes to the aim shooting around after what we just saw with the judge. He doesn't need that kind of training. But then, exactly, just by a judge to do a little bit of crazy things. Now moving on on to the next map, moving on to Lotus, things have to take a quick turn, especially because yesterday Texture was having the time of his life.
Anayaz, welcome.
Start on the defense, and I'm mentioning this because of exactly what he did yesterday. I think that the aggression that they were putting, especially being a very default-based team, was being the edge against PRX. I assume
Danger.
that probably prepared for that.
Danger.
Room, he will take
Danger.
GENG hasn't lost this map here in Masters Madrid yet. They've been on an excellent streak on Lotus. It has looked like their home territory. But SEN is good here too. They're going to be playing the same exact composition as you see here in our agent select, the old classic, the Fnatic comp. For me though, we need to see so much more from Sentinels in the implementation, right? On these attack sides in particular. John QT, I think, had some pretty solid calls on split, but a lot of those little mistakes were the reasons they lost rounds. Saucy whipping on something, someone kind of walking into a setup and dying in these post plants.
Map win Sentinels का ज़्यादा लग रहा है chat.
Or GENG will take advantage when they're so clean on this map.
Yeah, exactly. And we need to go back and talk about the Zekken versus Texture that we were talking about the beginning of the day. Zekken with incredible numbers all across the board. First in
controller
most of the
setup
categories
है.
and the top four final teams. He needs to be the one stepping up, especially if they're
एकदम
starting
mirror
on
comp
the
use किया है क्या फिर
This
से?
could be a massive moment for Korean Valorant, a massive moment for GENG, but Sentinels can look to force a map 3. Let's send it back over to your casters, Mitch and Tom.
Well, after a crushing defeat on map 1, Sentinels
You mean
are
I
going
will
to
do
faster
RC versus
Lotus
CSK? Who
in
will
the
win?
form
What
of
do you
Uncle
think?
Hero, or
CSK
equivalent to it, Tom. 1-0 down in the series. Need 2 in a row. It's not a position they find themselves in often.
No, it's actually a very scary prospect. I don't say, oh, I've got an interesting stat too often, but in the last 9 series, Sentinels have won the first map. The 10th, they lost 2-0 to Loud. So that is the last time where they lost the first map in a series. They've even lost the series after winning the first
लो
map.
चलो
They
भाई.
always win the first
IPL
map.
चालू हो गया,
It's
हाँ,
the first
हर्षित.
time we're going to see them properly have to fight from a deficit since the opener. And GENG are just going straight
पे
in
लोग
with
भागा
such
भाई.
an aggressive start. Sassy is dead within a matter of seconds.
Well, when you leave C, when you get pushed back, where are you going to go? You got to cross the B side. GENG, 3 push C, 2 push B, retake A. But hold on, Sentinels trying to take the fight through them to wrap all the way behind, and now end up coming back as a death ball, eliminating Texture. The trade stay good. GENG in a 4 versus 3, grouped up in 2-man squads. It's a good spot to play from. Meteor tagged, Karen not too healthy either, and the head popped up.
Yeah.
It's whack-a-mole for Meteor with both down and only 10 standing. This pistol looks to slip out of Sentinel's hands, and just like that, it falls into GENG's.
What a start. I love the way that they have come into this matchup. This is a team that many were saying that, oh, they should just ban Split. Oh, them picking Lotus. That would be silly. That's one of their opponent's better maps. But the fact is, GENG, I genuinely feel like have come into this series and gone, oh, we don't care what they play. We don't care if that's their best map.
GENG क्या खेल रही है? I mean,
we are going to play our own game. We're going to play to our strengths. And just
अच्छा तभी आज सुबह से पापा चिल्ला रहे थे हॉटस्टार रिचार्ज कर.
highly aggressive defensive side push got in the faces of their opponent immediately. This is a team running with confidence.
भाई next level confidence है इन लोग का अभी चल रहा है. ये लोग full charged up चल रहे हैं अभी.
And the crowd was there. The smiles on their face. They are happy to be here. They know they're making history, but it doesn't seem like they feel that pressure right now. They are vibing and thriving, 1-0 up. Sentinels, though, Tom, they've put all their credits on the line. It's a big buy from the attacking side.
Yeah, this is definitely a risk, a gamble. But we know they can pull it off! A little bit of a Bucky play to kick off the round. Munchkin with a nasty surprise. We've already seen this in the first map. An early back and forth. We know that Sentinels can do it, even with just the pistols. The C's fantastic. Even put in onto a snake bite. Lovely combinations from Sentinels.
क्या घुसे ये लोग?
I believe they even, before Zalsis went down, he threw in a nano, so you just had so much damage being issued on that spot and no escape. The 1-0.
हाँ पर आज ये मैच तो जियो सिनेमा पे चल रही है.
Won't be easy. They've already expended all their big utility.
पापा को कुछ और देखना होगा हॉटस्टार पे.
And with these weapons close range,
it's gorgeous.
They have a lot of potential, more so when they can see you through the walls. A great reveal from Sassy to get himself the kill. Karen down extremely low as he emerges from that smoke. It's easy pickings with Texture the last alive. He doesn't stand too long either. 1-1 as Sentinels pull it back. Reminiscent of the last map.
Yeah, Mastercard aren't getting a shout out as much this time because it was a full investment out from the side of Sentinels, but what a way to get right back into things. That's the thing. They had a slow map in the last. They got outplayed by GENG. But to say they can't come right back in and sucker punch their opponents, it would be foolish to admit. Either way, not going to be a mass investment on the other side. A few pistols, a Marshall put into play for Meteor.
Sentinels भाई अभी आएगी देखो.
We know what he can do. He's actually going for
अभी आएगी form में वापस.
around the edge of the one way. But again, this control
अभी आएगी forum में. Forum में आएगी
not far
forum
away
में.
from his ultimate already.
Danger.
Taking a lot of space.
Once GENG go for those fights, you know, they're really not favored. It has to be a miracle shot, although we've seen plenty of them. Even just on the last map. Getting back through here. There's a couple 1v1s available, but that paranoia for TenZ, it does a lot of work. John QT's able to clean house. Big kills to have as well. For John QT, this man is now 3 away, I believe. Yeah, 3 away from a Viper's Pit. Very early on as well after the fight back. Could just be 2 away. There you go.
Yeah.
He got his what is that? Great shots for Meteor. Chances of him getting the last 2 though, extremely low. They peaked together.
God,
Yeah, at least make things a little
But अभी ये
bit
लोग
more
form में आ
costly,
गए अभी
so
Sentinels
ever
वाले.
closer.
Sentinels
Having his
form में आ
ultimate
गए.
online,
अभी
just
मारेंगे
one orb
लोग.
away. Actually, the same for
Like करो
Hector
guys.
as well. Getting ever closer to having quite a lot available. I have to say, like, you bring in John QT, someone that obviously a lot of the reason he's into this squad is for the strategy side of things.
Danger.
He's been popping individually. Definitely up there with the best frag in IGLs. And into this round, well, it's going to be our first 4-by already.
ये
Gonna have that
Sentinels ही
Nightfall online
जीतेगी
for
वाला.
Sassy. By the looks of it, Black here taking a lot of early space. You don't normally see the Odin push this far forward.
We've seen it before, and it was punished almost immediately. Most times the pushes come, but I think a little bit more confident with Texture being there.
Planning to B C जाने का है
And Zalsis eventually
शायद.
bites the bait.
HP
He's down.
गई.
Wanted to see if someone was on the angle, but 6 HP is all he escapes with. Now they've got to be worried about this position. Karen just bailing. Happy to cause problems. And look, he's already burnt up their paranoia. Very valuable flash used up for next to nothing because he was baiting them.
And that's one of the major things, is you don't really have flashes when it comes to
ये जाएंगे लोग. ये जाएंगे.
this composition. The paranoia really is a huge, valuable piece.
नहीं,
Already,
सी
though,
जाएंगे, सी
rotations
जाएंगे.
did actually pull players away from the A site.
एक का भाई उसने fake
Sassy
वो दिया
managed to
मौली.
drag them back.
मौली.
He's selling a ruse. This is going to put serious pressure onto Meteor. He is now the only player. This fake from Sentinels is sublime, even using the Nightfall. And Meteor's even starting to rotate away. They have fallen for the bait completely.
क्या damage का है रे 10?
There was no way out. Zekin's caught. And now there's no way to stop this spike from being planted on the side of GENG. They have to play for the retake. Spams are coming close. Munchkin's dodging the bullets for now. An angle for Karen as he sees the corner, but TenZ will make it out of there just about. The Shrouded Step buys him the space, and he's hightailing it to play the post plant. 6 HP on Zalsis, 22 on TenZ, and Second and John QT are not too healthy, but they have to go for a save on GENG because of all those players still standing. Fight, a bullet or two landed extra, and this round will look different. But instead, GENG are out of here.
24/7 देखने वाला इंसान
We've
मिर्जापुर
given so
कैसे
much
देख रहा
credit
है.
over to GENG in the first map about how they were able to push and pull their opponents, even winning fights when they push into the stack. Sentinels this round, that was literal perfection. They used even an ultimate just to sell the ruse, but the fact is, Sassy just reclaimed that space late was enough.
Save round आया क्या?
Perfectly. Meteor was even rotating off the site. He was so convinced.
Save round आया इन लोग का.
Play in towards A, using their smokes on that side as well. Just fantastic stuff. Well, when you have someone like Zekin as your entry, even if there's one man there, you're not going to have too many problems. From that point, Sentinels managed to convert 3 rounds in a row. And well, what looks like a very peculiar buy, mainly because of the saved weaponry. Still some slight bit of hope based on the ults for GENG, but not much more.
A showstopper could definitely change the course of a round. A lot of
Save
early
round
pressure.
खाली texture का buy है.
Hey, it's not in what they've thrown out, it's what they're preparing to throw. 4 players towards the angle. The first
Sean
shot is
Tuting
taken by
come
D,
on.
but a little late. Lakia, good for 1. And damage done. It's still recoverable.
Eh?
That makes it a little
नहीं
harder.
अच्छा.
With Munchkin down. They know Karen around this angle. There's not too much that we can rely on GENG to
Like
finish
करो
off
guys.
the kills that have already
And sakabakarai bikukarai.
but it's going to find it hard to even find an angle to use this one.
It might just come down to a save. The fact is they're almost having to gamble on where their opponents are going, but the fact is SEN are happy to just play patient. A second round again where they're using Sassy as this
shot.
Though he's just executed him, and Karen's managed to get a kill as well.
He peeked stairs, and now he's up top suppressing fire. The guy's got 42 HP. He swung out wide.
Bye.
Paranoia hadn't quite landed just yet, and that's a little disappointing. Could have been close. Meteor now having to clutch it out, and the problem is he doesn't know where these players are. They could have snuck away to anywhere. It could cost him a lot of time on the way back through. But he's relatively confident that they'll play towards the site inside that pit. In fact,
अब मुश्किल है भाई 1v2
is
होने
going
का
to
भाई.
be used
मुश्किल है
here
मुश्किल
and
है.
now. They have to open the door to run away or emerge from that.
वहाँ से निकला बाहर.
The timing. Oh, it was so close to seeing Meteor fall. He catches John QT on the other side of the wall. Zelsis is standing, and now
भाई क्यों बोलता हूँ भाई मैं?
a sensational clutch for Meteor. 3-2 now.
भाई मैं बोलता ही क्यों?
I am flabbergasted at 2v4.
भाई even I am flabbergasted.
And they managed to recover an oath that somehow does some work, but this man, that is unbelievable.
क्या यार
Red
shit.
Bull clutch, and at this stage, honestly, you're going to look at the clutch statistics. You might head over to VLR, and you'll see, Meteor's really not that high on the board, but there's been so many
जो बोलता है
occasions
वही
where
नहीं
he's
होता, वही
in a
तो.
2v2, and he wins the 1v2 while his teammates are
थोड़ा
rotating.
नहीं
So
तोड़ना
I'm not
था.
surprised that he was
Detained
confident
हो
in
गए
the
उधर ही
1v2,
रहना था.
because he's been doing it all the way through
उल्टा
the
बोलने का
tournament.
ट्राई कर
To
भाई
use his
क्या
lockdown there
खेल
to force
रही
them
है
out,
बे.
and he's wasted their Viper's pit, but more importantly, he's put them on the board when they shouldn't have been there. A big clutch coming out of Meteor. Texture now has an operator. They're putting in utility, but it's being destroyed. Almost just baiting the fact that there's someone here, but he's so clean with it. First kill goes through, instantly retreats.
And a few shots landed, but with the op,
शीर्ष भाई.
to land those last bullets will be a difficulty. Even the shot just here, whizzing past the head. Sentinels, 1 man down early on. They've gotten mound control for it, but not necessarily a worthwhile trade. From here, though, maybe they can
ऐसे ये Watchparty के हाईलाइट बना के डाल दिया करो ना, खुद ही एडिट कर लिया करो नॉर्मल सी जैसे आने वाले करते 30 मिनट की वीडियो बनाते. भाई तुझे लगता है तू मेरी हालत देख लिया कर भाई. मेरी इतनी हालत होती है ना मैं कुछ नहीं कर पाता. फिर भी मैं कोशिश अपनी पूरी करता हूँ
slow
भाई.
down any attempt at a push, and with 45 seconds left, we see the spike.
Dream
Rotate
11 की
around
ऐड आई क्या?
still stacked up, and look who's rotated into position, Tom. Textures here with the operator.
That's the thing, they use some util to try and destroy their opponent's utility and bait out that they might be going in this direction. But the fact is, Munchkin has sat around. There's still a showstopper available here for Texture. He might be able to deny them, but he goes through, takes a risk, and is caught by Zelsis. Karen's still in position. 15 seconds left. It's getting late on the clock. The timer ticking. He's waiting for someone to go for the plant. They've done it right in front of him. Not hit him. And because of that, he's able to drop 2. Surely it's too far gone. Karen takes this round into his own hands. And Sentinels, they've been flabbergasted, flustered again by just 1 man on the site.
This is becoming a recurring trend for this squad. It happened on split with Texture on the back of A, but this time it's a little
हाँ
worse,
Rexelect
Tom,
मैं कर रहा
because they
हूँ
hadn't
इसीलिए मैं
threaded
अपने
the needle. They hadn't
यहाँ पे
worked
मैंने
too
डाला
hard
भी है
around this
Rexelect.
area. They
मैंने
thought
डाला भी है bro.
that op on the angle
मैंने
was
वीडियो
the
डाली
only
है
thing there.
रिएक्शन वाली और वो भी किधर डाली है मेरे गेमिंग क्लिप्स वाले चैनल पे डालता हूँ. भाई क्या हो रहा है सब उसका उल्टा ही हो रहा है जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ उसका. मैं बोल ही क्यों रहा हूँ यार.
If he's the last bastion of defense, but no, he wasn't.
मैं
An
टट्टेश हूँ भाई मैं
unbelievable round and
टट्टेश.
one that's gutting if you're a Sentinels fan.
Oh, for sure. Like the last 2 rounds, probably should have
शीर्ष
been
भाई
theirs.
पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है यार.
Close.
भाई तू इंडिया वर्ल्ड कप हारेगी ऐसा बोलना ठीक है.
By Meteor now, they're not stopping. Great start to the round. Second on these entries in C has been unstoppable. The showstopper in his hands, and he's just not stopping. The youngsters had enough. He's in the conversation for best player in the world right now, and you've just witnessed why.
क्या हो रहा है भाई? मैं बोलता हूँ उसका उल्टा कैसे हो जाता है भाई? और इंस्टेंट होता है भाई, इंस्टेंट कर्मा मिलता है मुझे। बोलता ही क्यों हूँ?
It's like Times Square out here. For GENG, look, 3 to 4 Sentinels. They have that heartbeat up, but this entry was just too much to handle. The fact that the players are already tagged up, caught, I believe, by
अब बोल तू कि मैं टट्टेश हूँ, जितने लग गए। हाँ भाई, मैंने अपने आप को गाली दी तो जीत रहे भाई। टट्टेश आदमी हूँ भाई, मैं टट्टेश। टट्टेश पंथी की भाई मैंने सारी हदें पार कर रखी हैं।
Under the radar value this man brings to the team. Like we saw his lurk in one of the previous round victories where he basically baits an entire rotation on his own using his ultimate. Does he get anything on the scoreboard for that?
दोनों अच्छा खेल रही है। भाई आप कह दो दोनों अच्छा खेल रहे हैं।
Just again the reveals, just putting into play.
भाई मैं reaction automatic निकलता है ना।
He might not know there's a second player right behind it, but instead it's just a freebie, and that's what this man brings. That's why he's had that sort of big move away from the Brazilian team of Loud, and why he was a hot sought-after property. Like this though, GENG instantly looking for a response. 4 players looking to pressure onto A again. They put some real value in Meteor being solo.
बोलना पड़ेगा कि जी के मैचेस में जिमी का मुंह पे टेप लगा दे.
Changing around, who's pulling that all about? Texture had the early pick before, but Meteor, the solo anchor on this side of the map, only now having a player come towards him.
अब तो यार हो जाएगा गाइस, टेंशन नहीं है. देखो मेरा अभी मैं बोलूं, मैं बता रहा हूँ गाइस, आज अभी टेस्ट करते ही है, ठीक है. ये वाला सेंटिनल जीतेगी, ठीक है. अभी देखते हैं. ये वाला सेंटिनल जीतेगी. अभी टेस्ट करते हैं, ठीक है. टेस्ट करते हैं. Sentinels जीतेगी बस. उस्मान भाई क्या हाल है?
Delay them slightly, and he has a showstopper to work with. He's sticking around. That nade actually landed perfectly, and now the showstopper comes through. It doesn't find the kill though. A battle in the air, and Second takes it. The site now under threat with Karen responding. Meteor's big gun shows up, and he's got the little one out as well. The one from the bundle. Won't be able to use it with 10 HP inside that smoke. He just backs off. Posts up with the operator again. The snakebite's coming for him. He's got to back off, and he does. A third kill. Oh, a sliver of health. The snakebite will eventually drop him. But John QT's got 2 more opponents to take down. One on the way with an ult in the back pocket. I don't know if they'll use it. There's 12 seconds left. This is where we want to see him stick that plant. Oh, but there's no chance with Lucky lining him up through the wall.
That was filthy. A seize to catch him, hold him in place, and a headshot straight through the wall to put him
down.
Meteor though,
how is this possible?
On 10 HP. It's just absurd. Bear in mind, he got dinked.
Bro, how is this possible?
He didn't even saw anyone. He got dinked.
Bro!
And then just wipes out half the team before eventually, I think, going down to a snake bite.
भाई एक और चांस guys, एक और चांस होना चाहिए मेरे पास. एक और चांस होना चाहिए भाई लोग. एक और चांस होना चाहिए भाई लोग. एक और चांस भाई. ये वाला सेंटिनल्स जीतेगी. एक और चांस भाई. एक और चांस. ये पक्का सेंटिनल्स जीतेगी बस. भाई मैं अपने आप को गलत प्रूव करना चाहता हूँ भाई. भाई मैं अपने आप को गलत प्रूव करना चाहता हूँ भाई लोग. एक और चांस भाई लोग. ये वाला पक्का सेंटिनल्स जीतेगी. एक चांस और, ठीक है. देखते. राउंड गए ही नहीं है. राउंड अपने पास ये 4-4 है राउंड, ठीक है. ये वाला पक्का सेंटिनल्स जीतेगी भाई. मेरे को देखने का बस. भाई हो ही नहीं सकता ब्रो ऐसे. भाई मैं पनौती कैसे हो सकता हूँ ब्रो. मैं तो भाई अपनी दादी का सबसे बेस्ट बेटा हूँ.
But he's able to post once more, and the door control remains in the hands of GENG. There's no threat from his left-hand side. This man only has one direction to look at, and Sentinels realize there's no way through. There's no space for them to capitalize on. Instead, they'll break the door. At least that's the idea. But Meteor's waiting for that too. Oh, no, in fact, that was Lucky breaking the door.
Yeah, I think he's almost trying to give his teammate an opportunity to make a play through the door.
30 seconds left.
Still, Sentinels sit, waiting for someone to make an error, someone to make a mistake. They've still got utility. The Nightfall previously used by Lakia delayed them a massive amount. And it looks like they might just have to save this one. Not finding any gap any way into this round.
10 seconds left.
It is going to be another on the board. The question is, can they remove any of these extra weapons? Because they do not want to allow Sentinels to go free.
Bro!
Haven't pushed the door, so
क्या danger पनौती हूँ भाई मैं?
It's not gonna land. Not this time. So few weapons saved. This man Texture, he swung into 3 players, but again, there's a lot of utility coming their way. It's pulling their crosshairs off the angle, and I think they just weren't expecting this man to be as unhinged as he is.
He did it almost off the rip of the.
भाई last chance दे सकते हो क्या chat? Last chance. भाई last chance दे सकते हो क्या chat?
Half HP. They also don't have any of the sound as well.
भाई last chance दे सकते हो. Last chance. भाई last chance दे दो. I want to prove myself.
Run through an insta peak, and they're also focusing on trying to reclaim tree control.
भाई last chance guys, last chance.
No doubt about it. But that has been what Texture has been doing. He's been disruptive.
Bro!
Sentinels clearly feeling after the last of the last 5 rounds.
क्या हो रहा है ये?
Of GENG. They're starting to get themselves back into control from what we've
Bro,
seen.
last chance. Guys, last chance. अभी Sentinels ने time out भी लिया last chance. भाई Sentinels ने time out लिया chat. Sentinels ने time out लिया last chance.
They can do it on the defensive side. But you look at their victories versus Heretics, you had a 9-1
Game खत्म हो जाएगा chance में.
over on that attack side.
भाई last chance chat, last chance. भाई कुछ मत बोला, चुप बैठ जा. भाई last chance, भाई last chance. इसके बाद कुछ नहीं बोलूँगा बस. इसके बाद कुछ नहीं बोलूँगा. इसके बाद कुछ नहीं बोलूँगा. ठीक है last chance. भाई मैं अपने आप को prove करना चाहता हूँ भाई. तेरे वजह से उन लोगों ने save किया.
Favoring Sentinels for sure, but we even heard
भाई
from the desk.
भाई save नहीं है half armor लिया है ठीक है जेंजी जीतेगा ये राउंड बोल दो नहीं भाई अगर ये वाला राउंड भाई मैं अपने आप को राइट प्रूफ सेंटिनल्स जीतेगा सेंटिनल्स है भाई देखो सेंटिनल्स है भाई देखो भाई मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूँ और 10 क्लच मारेगा 10 सबसे ज्यादा किल्स मारेगा बोला मैंने चैट बोला लाला मेरे लाला मैं तो हूँ लाला मेरे लाला
Sentinels are starting to learn that there's never really just been one player. There's always been a second layer to this B push, especially like the last time out we saw Munchkin make a play and Karam was just behind. So they made sure that they cleared everything. The operator hanging out in the wall.
Sentinels है भाई Sentinels.
That won't be able to be retrieved at least for now. Still plenty of time.
Easy
You can see
Sentinels.
space being taken across the map.
भाई ये Sentinels हुआ नहीं ना माँ कसम
They
भाई
love selling this ruse
अच्छी भाई
towards the A site. Using this
मैं
time
पनौती का टैग लगा दूंगा अगर ये Sentinels नहीं जीतो
Sassy
मेरे
has
मुंह पे
again. Not going to be used to fake it as he instantly catches both players. Karam though has already made it into the corner. They've got to be careful of this. He's done this before. We saw this yesterday. Wins the first duel, but the trade is immediate.
30 seconds left.
I was hoping for a little bit more in the crossfire, but Meteor doesn't land the first, and now caught by some utility. He's brave. Sticking around on that angle to look for a fight. His teammates miles away. If he goes down, the save call might be made. But he doesn't go down. In fact, he sends them skyrocketing into this round with Sassy alone. Lakia, he wants to just contain him, make sure he can't cross out to main. And now he might have. Be in the back of his line. They're split on the angle and Sassy.
Sentinels से बोला था मैंने Sentinels से guys. भाई पनौती का टैग लग जाता मेरे पे बच गया. गाइस बोला था मैंने आज बच गया भाई. बोला था मैंने गाइस. बोला था चैट मैंने.
Even knew he must have been around this angle. Even putting in a snakebite just moments later, split second later, to stop him from being able to do that.
Close हो गया था भाई. जेंजी की ही विन काउंट होनी चाहिए. नहीं भाई. क्यों? बोला था चैट मैंने.
Be able to clutch things out. We've credited him when it comes to his utility usage throughout the game, but he also has the clutch in his locker. Again though, this control instantly fought for by GENG. They are never sat back. They are never comfortable just giving up map control. And while this is a
जिमी का गोटी मुंह में था तो क्या भाई नाम खराब हो जाता मेरा भाई. ये वाला भी Sentinels है. Easy peasy भाई लोग. Sentinels है भाई मैंने अपने आप को राइट प्रूव कर दिया है भाई. वो 1-2 बार जो भी हुआ 2-3 बार वो it was just a fluke, coincidence था और कुछ नहीं. तुम लोग coincidence को पनौती नाम दे दिया है मेरा. Sentinels है ये easy.
Unfortunately, he's a bit more aggressive than you anticipated, my friends.
It's got to be infuriating. Why would he be that far? He's going back.
Sentinel एक ही बंदा गया है, क्या हो गया उसमें? Sentinel भाई
He'll hit the shot. Obviously, his team
सैंडविच खाओगे? हाँ भूख लगी है, मंगवा रहा है क्या हर्षित?
Still a chance, but just look, 2 players already. The meteor goes through. He spots the majority. They're not just about.
Sentinel बोला था मैंने बच्ची. Sentinel, Sentinel भाई.
25 seconds left, trying to fake out the plant, but Lakia not wanting to overextend. They've pinged exactly where he is, and Zeken's gonna go hunting, gonna try and take this man down and do exactly that. He's also got a flank coming in from Texture, but already he'll make the realization that this is going to be a push towards the B site. He's actually going to go running in. That's the thing. Texture instantly puts the nade. He has to try and stick this. May even go down to it, just 25 HP. But Zeken's still standing, still holding on. Texture just sticking it though. Already gets it to half. And looks to try and bait him in. He's got so much time to play with that he has to go back. But Zeken lands the shot anyway. It's a
क्या बोला चैट? सेंटिनल्स बोला था मैंने चैट, सेंटिनल्स जीतेगी भाई. ऑफिशियली आई हैव प्रूव्ड दैट इट्स गोना बी सेंटिनल्स एंड आई एम नॉट अ पनौती चैट. लेट्स गो. मैं पनौती नहीं हूँ, मैंने बता दिया तुम लोगों को. अभी इसके आगे कुछ नहीं बोलना, ठीक है? ठीक है, कुछ नहीं बोलना, ठीक है? कुछ नहीं बोलना, कुछ नहीं बोलना. सेंटिनल्स इट इज बोला था मैंने. 200 लाइक करो इसी बात पे गाइस. अब तो लाइक करो भाई लोग. राउंड के बीच में भी बोलना पड़ेगा, शुरू में बोल के गोटी मुंह में रहता है बस. भाई तो अभी रखता हूँ ना भाई. सेंटिनल्स है भाई, सेंटिनल्स जीतेगा भाई.
Even if it ends 7-5 and they've called a timeout here.
That's the thing. I feel like it's one thing losing a round to your own mistakes, your own misplays.
अभी बना के देता फुल प्रोफेशनल वाला.
I don't really believe that GENG did anything wrong.
मन में तो था GENG जीतेगा इसलिए.
1v2.
नहीं.
They're going okay. They tried to play it together. Sassy manages
मैंने तो
to
बोला भाई.
And win a round. Then you look at the next one.
मन में GENG जीतेगा बोल रहा होगा. पागल है क्या भाई? मैं मन में क्यों ऐसा बोलूँगा कि GENG जीतेगा? चूतिया. भाई क्या बात कर रहे हो यार?
Gets it to half. Waits for his opponent and gets insta one tapped. Those are 2 rounds where GENG
sit with Harsh on Discord ना. वो Discord पे बैठा है क्या? पता नहीं वो Discord पे बैठा भी है या नहीं.
Just better with those individual plays.
And sometimes that's all it is, man. Like there are going to be rounds where your opponent just goes off.
भाई ये Sentinels का है भाई. 6-6 होने वाला है. Easy peasy lemon.
I mean, even earlier on in this tournament,
अभी देखो. Sentinels है easy.
From a smoke, 4 shots, 3 kills.
What?
Got 1 through the smoke already with 10s dropped. And Sentinels in this last round on their attack side find themselves in a disadvantage due to scrappy
Sentinels, Sentinels, Sentinel. Oh Sentinel, oh Sentinel, चुरा के आया Sentinel, बैठा के आया Sentinel, चुरा के Sentinel. Sentinel, oh Sentinel, oh Sentinel, oh Sentinel, oh Sentinel.
Is already set up. The Viper's Pit is great. It's not going to be that impactful if your opponent has a lockdown.
Especially on this side, Tom, you can very easily box them in, and the only way out is it's a long.
It's going to be a clutch from John QT. John QT clutch मारने वाला है guys.
There it is. Ultimate ready. You hear the voice line called. John QT probably wants to use this a little closer so they have an escape.
क्या बोला भाई? मजाक थोड़ी करता हूँ भाई मैं. John QT clutch निकालेगा मतलब निकालेगा.
Pushing in towards the spawn angle, but that's where Sassy's waiting, and the orb's obscuring him for just a moment. It's a beautiful angle. He can even get out of here, but they drop it to take a fight together, destroy the lockdown as well. Clinical play from Sentinels, leaving Karen to do it all, and he doesn't stand a
Guys,
Sentinels,
John QT clutch करेगा. मैंने बोला और वो हुआ. लाइक मारो चलो. भाई लाइक मारो. सीधा बोल रहा हूँ मैं. मैंने बोला कि जॉन QT क्लच मारेगा. जॉन QT ने ही क्लच मारा. लास्ट किल जॉन QT का ही था. समझ रहे हो?
that is honestly a JungQT
Yo, bhai, aur
masterclass in repositioning, and they've earned themselves the 7-5.
जुबिन भाई इधर भाई मेरी प्रिडिक्शन चल रही है वो भी डेंजर वाली मैंने बोला जॉन क्यूटी क्लच मारेगा तूने बोला 6-6 होगा इसलिए सेंटिनल जीती नहीं मैंने बोला भाई जॉन क्यूटी करेगा 6-6 किधर गया अरे वो गलती से बोला था मैंने 6-6 बोला इसलिए तूने जीता नहीं वो गलती से बोला था मैंने
I saw you guys getting really into the game here. Of course, how are you guys enjoying it so far?
Oh, it's amazing. Hola, Madrid!
Hi, it's been awesome here. Watching the Sentinels play their game.
टेंस की मम्मी है गाइस अभी तेरी पौनाती एक साथ लगेगी तो लग रहा 7 राउंड हारेंगे नहीं और यहाँ इंडिया में ऐसे क्यूटी सपोर्टर्स क्यों नहीं है सारे अबे मम्मी है उसकी हर्षित गांडू
and focus on getting better, and he just took it off by himself from there.
And Valerie here told me a little secret. What is your rank, sir?
Probably Decade Ascendant, but my peak's Immortal too.
Whoa! Let's give a round of applause for that. Now, of course, you know it's massive that you get to see your son here. You go to another corner of the globe, and you have fans all over.
मेरे ऐसा प्लेयर है बोला उसने कि मेरा पीक Immortal 2 है.
Very heartwarming. It's like
don't make me cry.
No, amazing. I'm so proud. Tyson, oh my God. So proud.
Speechless. We love him. We definitely do. Now, let's hear the both of you. Can you give a massive shout out to Sentinels and to Tyson playing up there right now?
Let's go, Sentinels. You guys are amazing. Let's go. You got this. We love you, Tyson.
Let's go, Tyson. Let's go, Sentinels.
Let's get back into the game.
भाई अरे सेंटिनल ऐसा सपोर्ट मुझे भी होना ऐसा गेम प्ले भी तुझे होना उसके लिए
But not you. Okay, fair enough. 7-5. Sentinels doing pretty well at this stage of the game. We said they're used to a very strong attack, and sure, there were some stumbles. But now let's see if
ये वाला सेंटिनल से 110%. मैंने जितना 2 गेम का प्रेडिक्शन मेरा एकदम प्रिसाइज एक्यूरेट गया है तो ये तो जाएगा ही इसमें पक्का सेंटिनल जीतेगी फर्स्ट राउंड ही सेंटिनल जीतेगी कितना बोल्ड होके बोला है मैंने मतलब समझो कितना बोल्ड होके बोला है मैंने सेंटिनल बस इजी पीजी लेमन स्क्वीजी
Looks like Sentinels have a decent read. 2 players walking their way back up. The Prowler's actually going to give it away. There's a couple of players here. Zekin does have his nade available if he wants to try and deny them. Instead, he's just going to spam.
बोला क्या बोला भाई देख अंगार मुतरा है guys.
Sneaking into that corner as well. It's a beautiful crossfire if they do emerge onto the site.
देखो फर्स्ट लाकिया को ही उड़ा दिया उनका इनिशिएटर.
Push up on the other side. 2 players on C as well.
डेंजर है ना.
No worries on that side of the map or B, but A on the other hand has come under threat. They've lost Robo control. They've seen players here, and they're making a quick reaction with a 3-man rotate onto that actual site.
Sentinel.
So well placed for this push. Tens of smokes has made it awkward again.
ले भाई.
Trade one back. The
3-4 हो गया.
Capitalize off it, but Munchkin lands another shot. Even gets a fight onto Tens, who's low. Somehow they're turning this. They've got to get that spike down. Snakebite into position, but it's not going to deny. Karen just holding, at least for the moment. But Zelsis, again, is going to be able to bring this back. Players low, but Munchkin just isn't missing a beat. He hits his 4th kill of the round, and just whenever there's a moment for someone to step up, it always seems to happen.
Unbelievable. I mean, this guy was unreal last.
भाई इन लोगों ने अच्छा नहीं खेला भाई. क्या जरूरत है इतना ना वो करने की. भाई मेरी गलती नहीं है भाई. एक राउंड तो हारेंगे ना एटलीस्ट. भाई एक राउंड तो हारेंगे ना एटलीस्ट वो लोग. जरूरी थोड़ी है कि भाई हर एक राउंड जीतेंगे. लास्ट के 2 राउंड तो जीते तो एक राउंड अगर हार गए तो क्या दिक्कत है भाई लोग. मेरे पे आ रहा है यार नाम.
Looks like we might have gotten an early reaction because I'm sure he's going to be hyped up after that one too. Tens though sneaking around the corner, good for 1. Caught immediately. Good catch by Munchkin. Good react.
तू भाई जेंजी जीतेगा वही बोला कर. नहीं भाई,
Clinical on the way through, one player lost.
मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, ठीक है, this game, this round actually, this is round, wait बताता हूँ, जेनजी का बोनस है, इन लोग का बाय है, सेंटिनल्स, ये सेंटिनल नहीं जीती ना भाई, ठीक है, सेंटिनल अगर नहीं जीती तो भाई मैं बता रहा हूँ, मैं तुम जो बोलोगे वो करूँगा, तुम जो भी डेयर बोलोगे वो करूँगा मैं, बट हिसाब वाला, अगर ये वाला सेंटिनल नहीं जीते तो ठीक है, तुम जो बोलोगे वो डेयर करूँगा मैं.
Texture, there's one already. Now just one from the showstopper with most of his HP still intact. GENG, they haven't gotten away with it scot-free. Karen's been lost.
भाई हिसाब वाला डेयर है, थोड़ा हिसाब वाला फन डेयर.
No longer in play.
Next CS:GO marathon stream.
Stranger angles you'll see held with an Odin. It's just a fall back, so he's covering C and B with his utility and a wild shot through the smoke.
तुम लोग जो डेयर बोलोगे वो करूँगा, ठीक है चैट? जो डेयर बोलोगे.
Although marginally considering Sassy's HP.
Yeah, Sassy was able to trade off that first kill. I think it was actually a solid reveal from Lackey that actually gave up Tenz's position up close. There was expectations there for GENG that they were going to be challenged. But even still, it's going to have to be an almost...
Gang RP करनी पड़ेगी. Fun dare बोला, dare gang RP कैसे dare हो गया भाई?
There's not really much of a chance that anybody's got this aggressive. But other than that, information is barren.
Fun, Vinayak,
They have no idea what they're pushing into. You mentioned that Odin and its position. Well, depending on the plant spot, it might actually have quite high impact. And he's holding on to one of his nano swarms. With 20 seconds left, sure, it's probably going to end up in a retake, but there is a chance that this might be stopped by Zelsis.
Well, there's the nano activated that's on site already. One thrown through to delay even further. 10 seconds. Time to get that plant through. It's got to be safe in the corner. Got to wait a little longer after the nano runs the clock down, and that is a very tight plant. I think he's just about got it, but no spray coming through on the other side. That was 0.1 or 0.2 of a second by my read, but just about close enough to allow it to come through. But with texture,
बोला मैंने 80 Sentinels chat. अब बताओ chat. अबे Sentinels से chat ये देखो 3v2 क्या ही कर लेंगे.
Another kill, but he's 4 HP. 1 against 2. The nade hunting him down.
भाई बच गया मैं. बच गया भाई, बच गया मैं. बच गया भाई लोग, बच गया है भाई लोग, बच गया मैं, बच गया. बच गया, let's go, बच गया. नहीं हूँ मैं पनौती JDKM भाई, पनौती नहीं हूँ. तुम लोग गलत सोचते हो मेरे बारे में. 1% भी पनौती नहीं हूँ भाई मैं. 1% भी. छोटे मुंह में आ मैं बोली. 1% भी पनौती नहीं हूँ भाई मैं. 1% भी. बोला था मैंने भाई लोग. भाई जरूरी थोड़ी है भाई. फिर भी पनौती हो ही नहीं सकता भाई. मैंने बोला ना सेंटिनल जीतेगी तो जीतेगी, इजी पीजी भाई. अब ये वाला राउंड भी सेंटिनल जीतेगी.
The lead only ever summed up by a round or two. It's never safe, it's never secure, nor are these players. Early aggression again from Sentinels, a lot of utility, and most importantly, 4 players here. Paranoia used, Zekin gets caught by the other sides though, so he's not able to get a clean shot off on the showstopper. It's interrupted, and Sentinels start to fall back, concede some of this space. It's a good battle by GENG, and they thought they had a lot to work with Meteor sneaking through to B, but he's being caught.
It's now back into that awkward scenario. They had so much space, but also that takes off all of that extra killjoy utility.
Jimmy even dare gift 10 membership. अभी क्या भाई हो गया? संटा भाई क्या gift 10 membership? हो गया, जीत गए भाई.
Again, walking into the lion's den. Zelsis with his utility.
बोला था मैंने भाई, ये वाला भी सेंटिनल से भाई.
He sat patiently waiting with his gun in hand, and he's going to win the fight.
बोला भाई मैंने, डरते क्या?
Look at the spam through. He's done a lot of damage to
कुछ नहीं कर सकते भाई लोग, कुछ नहीं कर सकते भाई. घर पे जेंजी घर पे. भाई ओडिन ऑन टॉप बेबी, ओडिन ऑन टॉप. जो मैं बोलता हूँ वो मैं करता हूँ, और जो मैं डेफिनेटली नहीं बोलता वो तो मैं डेफिनेटली करता हूँ.
I've never seen anyone do that before. I've never seen it. Just hip fire in the Odin. Every part of that was so beautiful as well.
बोला था मैंने.
The realization he needs to go for the wall bangs.
ये वाला भी जीतेगी भाई सेंटिनल्स. ये वाला भी जीतेगी. नेक्स्ट वाला भी जीतेगी.
Like this is good. The swing here, it perfectly offsets where Karam was looking to pre-fire on. Like, he could not have read that any better. What an unbelievable to actually deliver sprays like that, hip firing when you're just beginning it.
Easy भाई लोग 200 लाइक करो यार.
Unbelievable.
मेरी prediction on top भाई, best prediction of all time भाई.
Well, the dreams of GENG's 2-0 seem to be slipping away. Sentinels extending that lead and now back to pistols.
Whole match का तो भाई मैं बोल रहा हूँ Sentinels जीतने वाली है.
He's had his moments in this game, but most of it has been with an operator in his hand. Once again, Zelsis is waiting. And the thing is as well, that it leaves them with so little opportunity for where they can plant. Instead, they're going to go back, look to put some pressure onto Tenz, who been having one of his quieter performances, that's for sure. But even still, all he really has to do is get that information, call for the rotations, and get some support.
Sentinel.
The way they've been playing it on the defensive side, he's often just the guy throwing the paranoia and trying to get involved afterwards.
Easy peasy मेरा है इस चीज का prediction. भाई अभी देखो Sentinel entry लेंगे और फट जाएगी इनकी.
Few pistols, but
entry लेंगे और मर जाएंगे. Entry लेंगे और मर जाएंगे. सारे entry नहीं ले पाएंगे भाई.
Reason we can't return to it now. Meteor's flanks have been caught.
Easy भाई, sassy भाई OP.
To find him, and with 13 seconds left, they need to
Best of
make a
3
move onto the site. 10 on the clock as they get close. Blast pack still in play, going to be used here, but not booping him fully off. Just about far enough away that he can continue planting. Karan falls. Pistol standing, Guardian spotted and dropped, and it's cleaned up nicely by Sentinels. It's only Munchkin left, and he can't even
talk to my hand, guys. Talk to my hand.
A nice shot connected. That's where the hope of the round ends.
Yeah, in the end, he almost has to go down.
Talk to my
just to make sure that he's going to have weaponry for the next round.
बोला था भाई मैंने easy.
For the side of Sentinels, 3 rounds.
सारी predictions मेरी right जाएगी. सारी prediction. यहाँ से line से जितने भी prediction है ना मेरी एकदम accurate जाएगी. एकदम accurate. ये वाला भी जीतने वाली है. ये वाला तो पक्का ही जीतेगी भाई. और ये वाला पक्का जीत के GENG का economy की बम्बू लगा देगी. चलो.
Sentinels have won the hearts of many.
Get ready, guys.
Now have a comfortable lead. Even still, though, they're going to be put under pressure. An immediate push here as they take control of Mound.
Lotus is PRX. PRX
obviously. Response. Good paranoia, but too late. The player's already able to see and take down Zekin as Tenz fades from the angle. They find themselves in a 4v4.
Easy, baby.
Good retake
easy.
ultimate online for Zelsis. That can counteract the Viper's Pit as we've seen before, but the potential to play aggressively on the back of Lakia's could cancel it out. It has for Sentinels previously. Tenz on the other side of this. Smoke has John QT covering the cross, but Karen's already gotten up close. A shrouded step that wasn't expected, and now the Nightfall gone all the way through. John QT, 13 HP, but he fades into the corner, and now he'll be able to get his health back online. Even notices the Nano Swarm chasing him down. Snakebite now landed right on him, and he's jumping forward.
Oh my
caught
God.
by another piece of utility. This time the alarm bot, Sassy, almost had it, but he's caught. Oh, it's Zelsis in on the Odin, picking up one, and he's got his lockdown in prime position. Another swing, and a player spotted. Only one to root out of that Viper's Pit. And Munchkin's already given up the angle, essentially. They're running for the hills. As Zelsis steps forward, he'll catch Lakia, setting them up to close this out, but Munchkin falling.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank me, everybody. अभी तो thanks लिखना ही पड़ेगा chat. जल्दी thank you लिखो, guys. Thank you लिखो. जल्दी thank you लिखो, guys. Thank you लिखो. सब लोग thank you लिखो फटाफट. जिमी भाई thank you. जिमी भाई thank you ऐसा लिखो. जल्दी फटाफट. जल्दी चैट. भाई पनौती लिख रहे थे. पेनल्टी लिख रहे थे तभी किसी ने सोचा कि जिमी भाई को कितना दर्द होता होगा कि उसको हम लोग पनौती बुला रहे. अभी थैंक यू लिखो. चलो लिखो. भाई पनौती का टैग हटा दिया है मैंने अपने माथे से. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट टाइम कुछ बोलना नहीं यार.
We have seen
पनौती का टैग निकल चुका है मेरे माथे से अभी कोई कुछ नहीं बोल सकता मुझे पनौती कैसे पनौती भाई रेजरेट भाई आपकी तो हार रही है टीम हैं आपकी टीम तो हार रही है रेजरेट भाई
and have an opportunity for the 2-0 otherwise they head into Breeze and honestly either of these teams have looked fantastic on that map so I have no idea which way it will go.
It's going to be whoever's made
रेजरेट
best use
आपकी
of
तो
the
क्या भाई
what little of it there is.
मन में जिंजी जीतेगी बोल रहा है
Talking about the stakes
रेजरेट क्या
of
बोल
this
रहा हूँ
match. I believe it was Kaplan that was talking
सेंटिनल्स
about
ही जीतेगी और मेरे सारे प्रेडिक्शंस लाइन से मैंने तो ये भी बोला था कि लाइन से सारे प्रेडिक्शंस मेरे राइट होने वाले एकदम एक्यूरेट मतलब एक्यूरेट
but mainly they get a day off they can prepare they can scrim they can relax
एकदम एक्यूरेट
and the veto advantage
veto advantage exactly the impact of winning this series it's not just about oh yeah they can get to the grand final anyways they can but they'll be on the back foot when they make it there running off back-to-back game days.
4 rounds in a row. This attack side for GENG hasn't looked great. We're going to see the same again.
Santino,
And then Zelsis now sits with his setup.
Easy है भाई मेरे को देखने की भी जरूरत नहीं है भाई अब मैं आराम से चिल मारूंगा भाई क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि ये गेम पूरा सेंटिनल का ही है मैप भी पूरा सेंटिनल
They feel confident in it. They've left him there alone. In fact, there's no support at all. The rest of the team are massively far away. In fact, we're even seeing a rotation from Sassy towards the players over on that C side.
Easy for इनका तो अभी बाय भी नहीं है ढंग से तो हारने ही वाले हैं वाला राउंड
Real hero play.
बाय भी
No
ढंग से
support
नहीं है
whatsoever.
Oh, if he commits to it. If he just commits to it, he could have so much value.
क्या ये लोग क्या ले रहे हैं इससे कितना ही मारेंगे भाई
Towards the switch. Zelsis doesn't know though. There's no information to play with just yet. He's waiting for his alarm bot to get contact. Now the door is open. He needs to run. He knows players are about to flood that part of the map, or that they might be. In fact, GENG have changed their idea. The direction now brings them towards B. Smoke up and a good kill as Tens is caught out of position. Nightfall through. And that is going to slow them
peasy,
way
baby.
down. Keep the information
Zealous
in their
is
hands
by
while
OP.
Zelsis
Zealous, let's go.
is much the same. This one's done.
By Angar Mutings.
Zelsis spraying away. It's 12
Zealous
to
is by
5 in a row for GENG. Well, we're going to go all the
GT
way
होगा
to
इसके
Breeze.
बाद कैसे करेंगे भाई दो मैचेस हो रहा है ऋतिक भाई कैसे करेंगे GTA खेला ना दिन में और कितना खेलूं GTA भाई
4 players ready for the B site and the second the nightfall goes in.
और बोलो चैट
Smell.
कौन हेड दे रहा था भाई चैट में मेरे को कौन हेड दे रहा
The
था
blood in the water and
बोलो कौन हेड दे रहा था भाई
a couple of headshots easily. 5
नहीं हो
rounds
रहा
in a
है
row
क्या
now. And that's exactly what
नहीं हो रहा है
GENG
क्या
need on the other side to take us to overtime. It feels unlikely with how clean this has been for Sentinels.
Easy भाई
And already they're getting the early read. The spam almost
नहीं हो रहा
gets the
क्या
opener.
चैट नहीं हो रहा क्या
Because after you spam that, you spam this wall, and Karen's right there. The bullets get very close, but not close
GENG
enough.
भाई नहीं हो रहा
Zelsis now
क्या
back on the site, reloading as pressure's applied. The door is open, but all the while Texture is creeping his way towards the stairs. 2 players spotted, 1 up close, and even suspecting 1 near the switch. Zelsis has a lot of information. Oh, and even the
Zealous भाई तो भाई ओडिन लेके पेल रहे बस मौत चल रही है Zealous
He was
भाई की
getting
तो
sprayed at. All the while, they're just hoping that on the side of GENG, somebody, look on Sentinels will make a mistake.
Look where Zekan is. Still waiting. He's pushed all the way up, so he knows that they're not going back in this direction. I like this though. The adaptation that maybe Sentinels aren't expecting. Never mind. Sassy makes the play but gets caught out. Even still though, Meteor's found another. Somehow this round has become competitive.
Hater हूँ तेरा Jazz भाई
They still have
Sentinels
themselves
baby Sentinels
a lockdown available. The spam might actually just about get rid of it. It's still online, at least for now, surviving an extra second, and they haven't been able to put the pressure on. Tens has got another.
Why,
QT
cutie?
with 1 more. Leaves it all up to Karen. He's on 1 HP.
John.
But through the smoke, John QT will
John the cutie pakatuti
as both teams will win their opponent's map choice.
John the cutie John the
At that
bakootie
13-7 for Sentinels. They came in with control and they never let go. It was a close fight all the way up to that 7-8 scoreline, and then they ran away with it.
Angar
Just play from the Sentinel side.
PRX versus Loud का
We saw
मैच
the
इसके बाद है
resurgence
ये
of so many players. Zekan finishing 23-10. This is a good sign
Sentinels
for
की
what's
मर्च
to
पहन
come.
के अगर
Breeze
बैठना है तो
map 3
सेंटिल्स
to close
डायरेक्ट
this
फाइनल
round and send one
जीतेगी
team
सेंटिल्स
to the
क्या
grand
होता है
finals
सेंटिल्स
coming up after this.
जॉर्ज देखा मीर भाई देख रहे हो मैंने बोला था कि नहीं तुम लोग एम ही बस मेरे को पनौती का टैग दे दिया है तुम लोग के लिए इतना किया मैंने
force that map 3 and what a way to
पार्टी किधर है वो बताओ पार्टी तो
and then he just went
मेरे को
that was unbelievable
कई लस्सी वस्सी पिएंगे सब लोग मिलके
लस्सी team is putting on a masterclass with the defense. Lotus calling something like 5 or 6 rounds in a row to win it there. They killed the lurker every round. Zelsis' Odin was holding
19 जून को चॉपस्टिक आ जाओ
the retakes were looking sublime.
I was going to say great call in Junkie just said
19 जून को भी स्ट्रीम करेंगे भाई लोग स्ट्रीमिंग बंद नहीं होनी चाहिए भाई
The economy was so good. Why
स्ट्रीमिंग
not
बंद नहीं
buy
होनी
a
चाहिए
second
चाहे जो हो जाए
and
साला
have someone behind you that is
स्ट्रीमिंग
either
बंद नहीं
like
होना
when you're
चाहिए
not shooting, somebody else is shooting, or they can reload for you and you just keep going on those plays because it was stellar.
Just
Not
wanna
only on
say,
A, also on C.
Real quick, just want to say real quick. I went to the back to go talk to Sideshow for a minute. I was like, what Sentinels need to do? He's like, they need to shoot back.
They
and
did
I think
it.
Zelsis
They
was
did.
like, yes.
And honestly,
Hey, what's
there's not
the
that really
scene
much
on
of a
the
chance of a refrag.
match?
They can't see you, you know?
Match कौन
It's
जीता
also
भाई?
so easy to just be like Odin go Burr, but the way they use it strategically to punish the A pressure, to repush, the way that they call around it as well, you kind of make the joke of having another Odin behind, but they always had someone else ready to follow up off of it.
भाई commentators बहुत सुंदर है अच्छा आईडी दूँ सेंटा
Yeah, it truly was impressive there. Of course, so let's take a look at our Verizon high-speed moment of the match because we got to give some love to 2 players here, Sasi and Zekin. First, Sasi, for this brilliant player, I thought he was cooked at this point. Manages to whip that headshot there. Kukuka finds a second, and then Zekin, here you go.
I am loving this place because these are the kind of rounds that get
Insado,
you back
Kakuka.
into the game. Something that
Kakuka.
definitely, and just based off on the score that we're seeing right now, Sentinels need it desperately. But also, I wanted to point out that
Kakuka and Mimi.
Kaplan, like, asked for a timeout. This lady
मैं फॉलो नहीं करता जस्ट से मैं फॉलो नहीं
This
करता
cannot be the way. I
तुम
think
लोगों
that
को
we
आईडी
have
चाहिए
a
इसके लिए
major
लाके
impact also in giving them the keys as to what to expect for when their defense came.
Yeah, you absolutely need rounds like this when you're up against a team like GENG because they're like guaranteed to win at least 4 clutches a game, it feels like. But Sentinels can do it right back, showing us the John QT is quality tactics, but also insane clutches for everyone on this team.
I couldn't agree more.
मस्त भाई
But
मसाज
also,
लेके गया बे
listen, I said it on Twitter. Zekin's out here
मेरे
making
को भी
the
चाहिए
case
यार
for the
एक
best in the world.
मसाज
He is trying his hardest out here, as I
मुझे भी कोई
expected
दे दो
to,
सा
because
मसाज
this kid gives you 110%. But look at the output difference. Santissimo. That is
Santissimo, yes, Santissimo is at least holding.
मेरे को भी अभी भूख लग गई भाई
Success rate is unreal. Of course, you know, the stats based off on a 13-5 and what we just saw, of course, is going to speak volumes of it. But the fact is that we were seeing a Zekin that was comfortable, that he was reliable on when this clutch scenarios came on to play, and definitely one of the keys to Sentinel's success.
By the way, casual 75% first blood win rate. The guy was electric. I love especially the way in the first half, Sentinels was approaching the C side with the double dive between him and Tens. They're so good.
मेरे को देखो ना मैं कम हूँ क्या काकुका से हैं
It's just another day in the office for that kid. It's just unbelievable.
He just turned 19, by the way. It was just like
Happy birthday.
Yeah, when I was 19, I was really trash at Halo. Meanwhile, this kid is out here probably on pace to maybe go to a final if they keep playing like this. But what happens here on Breeze, guys? Because last time we saw Sentinels play this, it was
Let's
not
go
the
first.
best for them. It was not here, and it was not the
देखो
best.
मैं तुम लोगों को बताऊँ
Exactly, and we also have a GENG on the other
मैं
side
बताऊँ
that
तुम लोगों को
decided to pick this map against it.
फर्स्ट
And
मैप
America's
का
squad
ये मैप का
allowed
फर्स्ट
and did
राउंड
not
जो
find
है
the success. And
वो
then
जेंजी जीतेगी
VCT picked it onto them and they were
जेंजी
able to
जीतेगी
win
एंड
that, but I
उसके
feel
बाद
like
से
they
सारे
were two
सेंटिनल्स
very different
जीतेंगे
matches, and it also relies
तो इन
on
लोग
the
का
compositions that we can expect
बाय
from
राउंड
both
अच्छा है
these teams. Sentinels
इसके
were
लिए
a very like
अरे
more
बाय राउंड क्या
standard
बोल
note, and then Mimi all crazy.
इको राउंड अच्छा खेलते हैं जेंजी वाले
I mean,
इसके
the
लिए
last time we saw Sentinels play this map was in the match that didn't matter against G2 when they had already clinched
And
playoffs.
they played Leviathan beforehand.
Sure,
and got
but
clapped
even
there
that
too.
was months ago by this point,
That's
and they
true.
had some time in between. They had a little bit of time to prep. They let it went through the veto. I think they can expect that GENG would have wanted to go here. So I can't wait to see what
Easy
Sentinels
भाई
prepared.
देखो
Yeah,
अभी
exactly. And talking about those
instant results मिलेंगे
not
तुम लोगों
only
को
as you're saying on the
मैं
side
जो
of
बोलता हूँ
Sentinels,
वही
have
होता
they
है
prepared something? Are they going to change some things
मैं जो
around?
बोलता हूँ
They
वही
have
होता
their
है
play
भाई
with the KO. We know that they can be comfortable with that, but also thinking about the composition from their opponents, that potentially having the Euro, having the
तो कहना
Astra
चाहता है क्या है
in this map is
113 होगा
something
तो
that
क्या भाई
regionally you're not going to see anywhere.
That's true.
But it's going to be a third
आगे रे
map
भाई
here,
लोग
and let's take a
क्या
look
लिया इन
at
लोग
what
ने
Comp Sentinels go for. It's the same thing as last time. This map,
Second
I think,
net
is honestly
jet
a
लिया
50-50. It can come down to
ने
the dual
initiator और
performance
double
of the game.
initiator
But what we have to focus on is
और
what this
यहाँ
would
पे
mean
भी
for either of these teams.
यहाँ
GENG,
पे
in the
double
organization's first
controller
international
setup
appearance that they
बताओ भाई
qualified to, they have a chance
double
to make
initiator
it
setup
to the
वाले को
finals
ज़्यादा
with
advantage
rookies
होगा
on
मेरे को
their
लग रहा है
squad. And for Sentinels, it is a return that has been so long awaited.
GENG has been able to turn these things around. Losing their pick is something that they are very familiar with in this event, but they always win in that third map. This has to be the case if they want to make history.
The winner of this match has a huge advantage in the grand finals. This last map
टेंशन में आ गए हो गए इन लोग
will
अभी
define
इन
the
लोगों ने
winner
डबल
of
इनिशिएटर
Masters
निकाला है तो
This is it, folks. Map 3, and the winner moves on to Sunday. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's send it back over to your casters to close this bad boy out. It's Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy, and our fantastic analyst desk. Just saw the results come in from the fan poll, Tom, and it looks like
कल chat सिर्फ एक ही गेम होगा
Sentinels are winning a fan vote.
कल एक ही गेम होगा और परसों भी एक
I
गेम
never could have
फिर
seen that one
खत्म
coming.
I wonder if we can get the stats from the Korean stream. It might be a little bit different over there, but we'll see if that fan favor actually carries any weight. As we move on to Breeze, the final map in this series, the decider that sets GENG on the defensive side. They stumbled on the last
Next
with
match
big
is that
plays
Next
coming
is
out of
loud.
players like Zekin on the side of Sentinels. Let's see what the Sentinel side has up their sleeve on Breeze, because it's not like the other two maps we expected a lot from both teams. Here, it's hard to really gauge
ये
expectations.
वाला लाउड जीतना पड़ेगा
A lot
लाउड
of what we've seen already, the victory that came out of this composition for GENG was
को
an
वाला
11-1 attack side.
लाउड क्या बोल रहा हूँ यार मैं
We don't know.
ये वाला
what they've
GENG
got on
जीतेगा
the
उसके बाद
defense.
सारा
Wait and see. Second though, already looking to take that initial space. Again, the utility from the initiators is sublime. Sets him up wonderfully. That shock dart has done so much damage. Zekin's almost dead as well. I don't think he's got anything else to throw at them, but they
है
are
तो beard
slowly making their move forward.
Here comes a
ज़्यादा
recon,
beard
just
मेरे से
back
संभली नहीं
online
जाएगी
from Lackey. It was used
स्ट्रीमर
at
हूँ
the
मैं
start of the round. Now buys a little bit of space. Second down, and Texture emerging from the smoke gets caught. They know there's a player in the corner, and they'll look to isolate that fight up close. Munchkin does well to find another. The advantage stacked against Celsius, but the spike is down, and he knows it's not being diffused. Sometime bought, but 15 HP. One more bullet's all that's needed, and it should be only seconds away. With Lackey as third, GENG.
बोलता हूँ मैं वो होता है
Yeah, exactly.
बोला था मैंने
Start
chat
on that defensive side. I think the expectations will be there for both sides to have the success there, but that's the thing though. You're kind of facing off against what was a bread and butter comp on this map before. What GENG's running has a little bit more spice to it on that attack side. That's the thing that I said. That shot dart was sublime. It almost pulled off Zekin as well and ended the round. And seeing Lakia, as one of the players looking to get his redemption.
एकदम precise prediction बोलते
A long time ago.
ये वाला Sentinel
We're
जीतेगी
talking about a ridiculous, what was it, 1,029 days since Sentinels sent New Turn to the lower bracket.
नहीं ये वाला Sentinel नहीं जीतेगी sorry ये वाला भी
Early days in this map at
GENG
least.
जीतेगी
Obviously for the side of Sentinels, they don't normally invest much into these rounds, and they haven't again. It's either all or nothing. They're not like a sheriff team. They're not like, let's put a little bit in.
Yeah, we saw that right last map. It was the full force and a lot of success found, but obviously don't put as much stock in being able to claim that space on this map. And you can understand why. Normally, though, it's on the back of Cypher comps that are really hard to break through if you actually play diving on towards one site. This time, GENG have a lot of reactive utility. Meteor can always get towards that site. Karen's got global util to support them with those stars. For now, Sentinels have claimed the space. They have got the plant down by the looks of things, and there's not a lot that GENG had to push them out. Even the shock dart doesn't land. So a chance now for the pistols, most of which are grouped up on the back of the site. Good shots to start this off. And it doesn't look like there's too much being found, but Meteor's down a little bit low and emerging from the smoke. Yeah, Zelsis ran into heavy traffic, but Lackey is down. Another opportunity for kills here on Zekin. Low HP on Meteor, but not a shot.
Match का क्या scene है guys?
John QT's last alive.
What is the score?
Okay, 2 kills. It's not terrible.
Yeah, they do a little bit of damage. They get a plant. They earn some extra credits. Weaponry is going to be picked up for GENG, so again, it's not really the end of the world, but I don't think either side.
Gamer भाई पता नहीं यार ऐड क्यों आ रहे हैं आपको प्रीमियम बाय कर लेना चाहिए भाई क्योंकि मैंने ऐड डाले नहीं है मेरे साइड से कुछ भी सब YouTube की साइड से हो रहा है मैं नहीं कुछ कर पा रहा
well, the plant in some cases will actually have made the difference of having full shields, having full utility, which as we know there is an outlaw on the other side, so that will actually make
28 पे through to ठीक है
You know, the outlaw here it's really
और ये क्या चल रहा है स्कोर अरे स्कोर क्या बोल रहा हूँ टारगेट कितने का है
they're on defense for starters.
Yeah, attack side
200 लाइक कर दो चैट
you know, we're gonna have to have a conversation about that, but here so much value. The whole map is just long range angles. You can do so much damage. As we see, Sentinels have got shields on everybody, the full 150. Those pistols, weaker weapon spams, could be able to take him down already. Texture's able to pick up John QT. Lackey on another Karen Munchkin. Everyone's got their bite of the pie. It's just Sassy left alone.
क्या हो रहा है?
This is not a round that I expected GENG to win, but to dominate? There's barely been any damage done, Tom.
No, and they're already looking at their flank. They know that there's a very good chance, especially now that they're starting to clear out the positions behind, that he will be somewhere towards their spawn. Already pings on the map. It might even just be a scenario where we're going to have to wait the full 50 seconds for Sassy to just try and hold on to the gun, but again, I want to shout out
जितनी मांगती है यार क्यों नहीं जीत रही भाई hello
he's
not my fault
I
guys
don't think always gets his plaudits, has some rough games individually, but his dart basically gave a free kill over onto the side of Karen. Well,
30 seconds
it is
left.
just going to be Sassy holding onto the gun. All 5 players looking to survive. Upgrades as well. We were talking about them having, I think it was a Marshal, a Sheriff, an Outlaw. None of
fights. Players spamming through the smoke, putting them low. And now they found Sassy. After all that time.
After we've sat there for 50 plus seconds waiting for him to hold onto that guard, and Meteor just goes, no, right at the end. But that's just disgusting. Like, that's the thing. That's where you see actually just the usage coming out of Lakia, and then also just the denial. Like, it's having that second controller. Like, Karen's just been able to slow the push by putting.
GENG लोग का Watchparty चल रहा है भाई.
There you go.
कोरिया में.
GENG Watchparty over in Seoul as well. After what was probably a bleak 2023.
Sure, baby.
It is paying dividends to be a fan of this team now.
Yeah.
Maybe even a few people might have jumped ship over, but we won't call them out.
kind of feel like you did call them out there, Tom. I'll be honest with you. That's I heard a bus coming. I saw you throw someone under it, but there's no evidence left behind. That's you know, for GENG, got to be one of the most successful builds.
अभी Sentinel सारे जीतेगी भाई. Easy bro.
In such a short turnaround as well. I mean.
ये नेट जाके वापस आया क्या हो गया तुम लोगों को पता नहीं चला क्या
on split to move to 3-0 up, winning out a low buy round there on Breeze. We've never seen a Korean team look this scary, and we've heard about them. Hell, I talked a lot to Achilleos and Paperthin back in 2020, 2021, 2022. I'll even throw 2023 in there. But now, for once, they were right.
I think the thing that's been most impressive as well is they have built this team out of players that ultimately didn't have mass success. You're talking about Texture coming from GE.
हमें लगा हमारा F हुआ था हाँ हुआ था क्या
definitely didn't have a great 2023. Meteor as well, expectations were high. Lakia came back from tier 2.
Yeah.
This team
भाई क्या गर्मी लग रही है
just works together. Nice start though from second.
Baby.
That's going to be an instant kill. Looking to try and break back with what is some weaker weaponry here. They may even look to try and go through the smoke. This is awkward now for Texture. No dash, no escape. They're not going to expect him to be here, though. Not expecting him to stick around because now he has delivered them a rifle.
It's being guarded, though. Lackey's not giving it up. Oh. They've lined up for the double, the triple for Lackey. John QT, well, he'll find one unaware. That's a rifle to be retrieved, but in comes Munchkin to close that one out. Nice and clean for GENG in those last couple of fights. But the damage was done by Sentinels early on. Thing is, because of those massive economical rounds they had early on, they're not really going to struggle for that all too much.
Definitely got dangerous, but is this man again coming alive exactly when they need him most? 7-1 on the scoreboard. The comeback of Lakia.
You know, अभी बहुत टेंशन में आ गया है.
may have been seriously understated when he made it back into a tier 1 team. There are
ये
many
क्या हो
of
रहा
us
है?
who have
Prediction
been
अच्छा
waiting
करो.
for this
अरे
for
मैंने तो
such a
सही बोला था यार.
ridiculously
पता नहीं ये
long
लोग
time
अगरे
in
लोग
jail
लगता है.
over Vision Strikers, and then had a long redemption arc to even get this far. Texture about to come under pressure, but he's not shying away at all. Maybe he should have done. Seconds removed him and taken the operator.
अब हुआ ना असली गेम प्ले.
But nothing to be found. To swing out from
Gameplay,
Zeki, another
gameplay,
kill, and
Chad,
Tanz answers up.
gameplay.
Finally, it looks like GENG have been left in the dust here on the defense, and with Munchkin falling, that's confirmed. Karen, 1v4, the first is his. Pulled back a star, but, well, that's going to be quite a while before that's up and online. Trying to bait out the op, but he won't hit the shot. Snakebite up and over. If he's anywhere nearby, it'll take him down. But playing ahead of it, John QT.
क्या बोला chat?
One round on the board for Sentinels. They found their first on the attack.
And a lot of that comes back off the individual play of second. Definitely up there in terms of the entry fraggers, and just was happy to put that pressure straight onto Texture.
Nowhere to run.
Picking up the operator as well, just taking this round into his own hands. That's the value that Sentinels have in this youngster. Still just 19 years of age, literally just. I think it was during this tournament.
It's crazy to have that success so early on in your career.
And you better believe that contract is probably as solid as it gets. Again, they're just going straight back in for this play in towards the A site. And again, no fear out from Texture. This time he will catch it, but it's a player that can be brought back. It's going very differently this time around, though. They're being destroyed.
Bye. Khatam.
That's like one of the first A-site pushes we saw out of Sentinels. Ult used by Meteor, huge drone, aggressive op pick. They try to punish that op, and then they get swung by the smoke. They have a guy calling shoot me as well. It's never easy to play in rounds like that. Even uses his decoy as he comes out of the ultimate just to bait them even further. You can see they're getting hyped up on the GENG side, and understandably, as they now lead 5-1. We're a quarter of the way through, halfway through the first half, and GENG have their hands stuck on the reins.
Yeah, we've heard behind the scenes that in scrims this map for GENG has been going fantastic, even if the results don't display that. When it comes to the officials, they were confident, they were happy to take it here. Again, Sentinels, we haven't seen it successful in Americas, and it's definitely not looking great here. Texture so aggressive in his control. They have to be using the drone just to force him back out of main. Shock darts being sent onto him, but if you believe that he's giving this up, you'd be foolish. And look at what's happening on the other side. GENG are already stacking up players into this B site. The read they have is bang on.
And there's not even an intention to have Meteor go somewhere else, rotate to A if the pressure's there. His gate crashes on site, decoy used. They might even think that's the real one. They do. Flashed on Zek, and he slowed down and peeked out from the side. Munchkin wrapping to get a nice angle, and he found another, and they still haven't found Meteor. He's spraying away, catching the jump up and dropping the spike. These players have to come out of the pit. They're getting a reveal. Meteor staying alive for now, and he's up close to the pit, knowing that they have to emerge from it to pick the spike, but they already have. John QT's around the backside, and he's coming right back into the safety of the pit to try to get the plant down. A flash inside, but it's all a decoy to push them towards him as Meteor moves around the other side. This is beautiful play. They're not even looking as he goes back in. And now the plant, sure, it's going to be found, but blinded up, he is stuck in a corner. John QT doesn't stand a chance.
क्या हो रहा है?
From Meteor on the Yoru.
Danger schemes, bro.
GENG, leading by 5.
That's the thing you love about this guy. Like, you've watched him play these Sentinels in such an aggressive manner. The operator on Killjoy in the last map, happy to run in 1v2s, use his ult immediately and clutch out. But then you put him back on the
GENG को support कर भाई.
You almost miss it. If it
GENG
was
भाई.
Texture, he'd probably
तुम
be
ही
playing
जीतोगे भाई
any
GENG
other
भाई.
team. This guy is so damn good.
GENG भाई आप ही जीतोगे GENG भाई. GENG भाई आप
Sentinels at
GENG
the
भाई
moment, they just don't have an answer. They're coming back in with the buy, but it is one of the weaker we've seen. Ults, none of them are even remotely close. And almost all of them are either close or online.
Here he goes again.
GENG.
Crazy. They baited him in. They thought they baited him in. He bites, but he takes it with him.
Second down, and he's sticking around. Texture's not going anywhere. Eventually, he has to fall back. The flash is good. Is that a leg or a spam from someone else? Indeed, it was a spam from someone else. Lakia, who's now down on the floor. The ult used by Meteor. 1 spotted, 2 spotted, and 2 taken down just like that. They saw the final player. They know exactly where he is. Nothing slipping past GENG right now with a 7th round locked in. Sentinels have to be feeling stuck in the mud. They got 1 round, and this is a side